Sorry for the mess. I'm Nick.
August.
I'm crashing here for a couple of days.
What's up, dog?
Hey.
Oh,
Beer.
Hey, beer.
I'm gonna pass, but thank you.
It's about that time.
You need to finish reading it?
Yeah.
So instead they take energy from them. They're like an energy leech on the group, and it usually isn't long before they get blown out because they aren't adding any value to the interaction. You have to contribute to the group's energy. This is why we stress the 90-10 rule when you first approach a girl or group of girls. The 90-10 rule means you contribute 90% of the conversation while they contribute 10%. Now, this certainly doesn't mean that you need to maintain this 90 for the entire 50-year course of a relationship. But for the first 10 or 15 minutes, that's what you gotta do. That's another reason why I don't ask questions. Because frankly, those first 10 minutes, I literally don't give a shit what she has to say anyway. I'm just trying to display value to get her to open up. So, if she says something and I can't hear it, I won't say what and get her to repeat herself. I really don't care what it was that she said. I just want to plow on and get that initial attraction kick-started. There will be plenty of time to listen to what she has to say afterwards. How do you know when it's okay to start asking the questions? The sign I look for is when she starts asking me questions. The most common one you'll hear is, "What's your name?"
And what do you do?
Once I hear this, I know it's okay to slow things down and start to get to know her. And it goes to a 50-50 conversational ratio. Asking all these questions during the initial stages of the game pickup is, in a nutshell, seeking rapport from someone who hasn't earned it yet. And frankly, it's dork-ass super lame. So for now, eliminate these questions and concentrate on being a giver of value. Tell stories, teach them things, play games, whatever. Avoid normal at all costs. Stand out. Realize that the bar is set very low here. You don't have to be Chris Rock here. All you have to do is be different from all the other guys using the same dumb approach. Avoiding these kinds of normal questions is the first step. Hope that helps somewhat. Next caller, please. Success story. Yo, J-Lix, Freedom here. In mid-04, I caught my girlfriend cheating on me with another guy in our apartment. After I grabbed the guy by the hair and threw him out in his boxers, I didn't even say a word to my now ex-girlfriend. I grabbed all my things, called my two buddies and brother to come over and help me move all my crap out. So she kept telling me how sorry she was and that she loved me, but I totally ignored her, and so did my posse. I told them to totally ignore her. After I moved out, she kept calling me, leaving me voicemails and sending me emails, but I had mentally and emotionally cut her out of my life. Over 5 years of dating and living together for 1 year, all for nothing? Not really. I learned a lot of things in the bedroom. We had great sex and we had a lot of good nights. Living life with regret is so useless. Since then, I've been reading your newsletter and I've been following your advice and guidance. When I approach a group, I ask, what would Jeffy or Tyler do? Since then, my top count has gotten over 60. I am now an approach machine and now see the social matrix as I've never seen it before. Let me give you one example of what I've been able to do just by reading your free newsletter. The day after Thanksgiving, I went to the mall because from past experience, I knew there would be a lot of hotties there. Now keep in mind that I'm in my late 30s, though I look about 30. That's what the women tell me anyway. My frame is that all women like me no matter what their age. I spotted a 5-girl group, looked to be about 20 to 22 age range. My chode of wingman, an old college buddy, thought I was nuts. I immediately walked up to them and used a line that I got from a magazine. Me. Yo, ladies, you look bored, so let me brighten up your day by asking you something. Them. What? We look bored? What makes you say that? Me, not buying into their frame. Oh my god, it's obvious. But tell you what, since you're all here in a group already, I'd like to take a poll. Them. Yeah. Me. Now Tom Cruise claims he loves Katie Holmes, right? Yeah. Yes, ladder going. Me. So I'd like a female perspective on this. Tom claimed the same thing with Nicole Kidman, yet he divorced her before she could legally claim half of his assets. I found that very interesting. Now he's 43 and Katie Holmes is like 28 or something like that. Do you think he's really in love with her? Various answers. Oh yeah, of course, blah blah blah. Okay, do you guys know who Chris Angel is? Oh my god, yeah, he's so hot, cute, babe. I don't like his hair. that's different responses. Well, I learned a neat trick from him and I want to show you. So I ran my Chris Angel routine, which involved having one other girl close her eyes and go back to the time where she felt really happy. Then I had her in a deep trance, so to speak, and I started guessing things about her. I did this to 2 other girls, then looked at my watch and told them I had to go. But I told them that I'd love to show them more tricks. I walked away with all their email addresses and 2 of the girls' phone numbers. The target that I really wanted turned out to be a really hot Latina who was 22 years old and attending Pasadena City College. Needless to say, I've gone out with her and her friends 3 times already, and yes, I've been able to isolate her and extract her back to my place. Thank you for your newsletters, they are the best. My first name is Chad, but I call myself Freedom, because I've freed myself from slavery. Chad. My reply, great letter, man, best of brutal week. I mean, it really needs very little commentary. You've got the attitude, you've got the technical skill, everything. This is what I'd call a textbook pickup, really. You got the strong frame in the face of adversity everywhere, from your body, from the girls, etc. Your buddy. I find it hilarious when guys email me, I am older and I want to take the boot camp, but I don't think it will work for a guy my age. What these dudes don't realize is that I know guys that are way older than them who have 20-year-old girlfriends coming out the wazoo. These are not isolated cases either, I see it all the time. It's their frame that makes all the difference. The difference between being a naturally attractive man and being a headcase who masturbates in a hostel window on a Saturday night.
Damn.
And yeah, you may want to rethink the whole what would J-Lex do bit, because you just might find yourself telling the girls about a crazy wanker, then burying your face in their cleavage and crying. The look on the student's face when I did that one was priceless. I was winging for him, and I guess it worked because he ended up pulling the girl home. He showed up the next day of the program with massive scratches all over his back and a placid expression as though all was right with the universe. But hey, that's what I do, man. I make it right. When you've been running, now it's just a plug for the camp. Alright, the last question. This is Dimitri. We've met in the Project Hollywood Mansion and at various seminars in San Francisco. I read your newsletter about dealing with girls with boyfriends. Great stuff. And thought I'd share my own story. There was a chick from school that I sort of liked and felt a good chemistry with. I knew she had a man. I invited her to go to a party with me and some friends. At the party we flirted a lot and wound up making out, as I expected. There was no mention of the boyfriend at all. A few days later I ran into her and invited her to go out for ice cream, which she accepted. We went out and she did bring up the guy a few times. In this case I acted completely comfortable. I don't remember what I said, but essentially I had the frame of, I am okay with the fact that you have a boyfriend, yet you are here with me. Essentially reframing I have a guy to I have a guy. Is that okay with you? The date went very well. She actually told me later she was in panic after I asked her for ice cream and was talking to her girlfriends trying to figure out what to do. Her friends told her to go let the boyfriend know about it and make sure I am aware that she has one. Sounds like chick logic to me. Hey, if the guy is aware that I have a boyfriend and he's still going after me, it's not my fault. Anyway, fast forward a bit, she breaks up with the dude 2 weeks after the first kiss. Her and I start seeing each other more and more. I take her virginity somewhere along the way, and we eventually get into an exclusive relationship. It's now been about 3 months since we first kissed. I know, getting into a relationship with a girl who cheated on her boyfriend is a no-no, but this case does have some other circumstances making it less so. She's Mormon by upbringing, does not really believe it now, and was a virgin. Out of all the girls I have been with, she somehow happens to be the most compatible. Sex is great, relationship is going well, and she makes me food, helps clean my house, and she loves me. This is where my question comes in. What can I do to make the possibility of her cheating on me as small as possible? What are the signs of a girl who is ready to cheat on her boyfriend? I figure either way, no harm done. I am having a great time. If she cheats, I move on. Of course, I would like to prevent it from happening or get out before it does. My understanding is that a girl is very unlikely to cheat when her relationship is going really well, she is in love, sex is great, etc. But I don't know what happens when a girl has cheated previously and another guy like me, someone with game, comes along. I know you normally answer game-related as opposed to relationship-related questions, but I figure you'll have some input from your general understanding of social dynamics. Thanks. Well, first of all, I wouldn't even call that previous guy her boyfriend because she wasn't even having sex with him. I'd call him more of an orbiter or a platonic friend. Look, man, this whole takes steps to ensure she doesn't cheat on me thing is bullshit in my opinion. It's not going to help you in any way. In fact, by thinking about this crap, you're actually making it more likely to happen than if you didn't think about it. The reason is something called the Pygmalion effect. In the Greek myth, Pygmalion was a sculptor who created a female statue and wanted so badly for it to be real that with the help of Aphrodite, the statue came to life. What psychologists now refer to as the Pygmalion effect is essentially a self-fulfilling prophecy. What we expect tends to come true. Even if that expectation isn't accurate, we will act in ways consistent with the expected outcome, and in the process of our entire physiology and speech reflect this. People have a tendency to respond by adjusting their behavior to match ours. Yeah. The end result is the expectation becomes true. In other words, obsessing about how to prevent her from cheating on you is only going to ensure that she does. There's an underlying problem here, and it has nothing to do with this particular girl or her past behaviors. I've known a lot of guys who constantly obsess over the same thing, and they all have one thing in common. They pretty much hate women. When it comes down to it, they think that all women are idiotic liars who have no control over their behaviors. Now, I'm not saying this is you, but you would be wise to examine your core beliefs surrounding this issue and determine if that is, in fact, the case. If it is, then you're going to think this about every girl you get involved with, regardless of her history. The fact of the matter is, this guy she was seeing before was probably a loser, and he probably treated her poorly. In other words, he couldn't hold a candle to you. You should be proud of that. You were the man, you were the one that was able to win her heart and get her to open up in ways she never had before to anybody. Focus on that instead of how she left some moron who wasn't giving her the value she needed to feel secure enough to do that. From there, focus on continuing to give that value in increasing ways on a daily basis. To put it another way, you're her Prince Charming, man. Whatever you're doing, keep it up and you should be fine. Look, this knowledge liberates you to do things you never imagined possible. Learn more by visiting blah 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 blah. That's good shit. Yeah, these newsletters are usually pretty good.
What up, man?
Hey,
What you been up to?
not much. Moving.
Moving?
Yeah.
Man, you kind of look like Neil Strauss.
Yeah, I guess so.
Wish I had a damn fisheye on this thing.
Whatever. It's alright.
I wonder if CJ probably come at 8. He just RSVP'd like right now.
No.
But he might think it's earlier or something. Do you want to go out tonight?
I'm dressed for it. I mean, if you want to, cool. If not, probably definitely go up tomorrow and Saturday. There's a lot of events I don't even know really what to do.
Yeah. I know, like we were talking on the phone earlier. Shit, I know you had Were you saying something for Sunday, like the volleyball and barbecue?
Yes. I forgot to send that. That link to you. I'll have to do it tonight.
Where's it at?
Legacy Park, I think.
Is it like a group is going there?
Yeah, if you go to the outdoor adventure group on Meetup, I think they have it for,
Outdoor adventure?
yeah, something like that, outdoor hiking adventure or something like that. They have it, she has it for, Sunday. I want to say 6 barbecue and sand volleyball, and I love me some sand volleyball, so.
Las Vegas Adventure Fitness, weekday adventures, walking, hiking, adventures, girls' night out.
Wait, go back up. It has, it's the one with the most members, it has like over 1,000. Yeah.
3,800?
Yes, that's the one.
Okay. Yeah, we could check this, or like Sunset Park too. Because they have beach volleyball and a girl on Facebook just hit me up and was asking what I was doing for Sunday. And I told her we might be doing this.
Cool.
This, and then I said maybe we go there at the pool too, do 2 events or something.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Where is it at? Sandstone Canyon.
It might not show up if you go to the,
Upcoming Thursday. Damn, that like 5 events on the same day.
Yeah. If you go to the
37 up country, these motherfuckers are on.
yeah.
Okay, here we go. Moonlight Hike, Girls Night Out, Sex in the City 2. That fucking movie premiere is gonna be dope, but I wish it wasn't working. Friday. Saturday. Sunday. Sand volleyball barbecue.
That's it.
Take those things to Park in Henderson. This is a joint event with Green Valley Henderson Walking Group, so please RSVP under one group only. For those of you that aren't in town, hang at the park, play volleyball, barbecue. And who do we? 7 yes so far. Some Kugas. Park hours 6 a.m. to midnight. 10 acres. Nice. Ball field barbecue. Okay, cool. So we're gonna crash this party?
I guess. I didn't even look at who was going, but I heard Sandboy, but I was like,
This is like a hiking group?
yeah, this is a pretty cool bunch of people. I mean, so far, like, I've only gone on 2 or 3,
Hikes?
but who I've met is,
Houston, remember Houston? He went on, I think it was that group. He went on a hike. Said it was good.
yeah,
I'd love to do that.
yeah, it's fun.
A lot of girls?
There is off and on, and they're all
In shape.
different age groups. And
Hey, this was Maz's idea. He threw out there, like, girls' night out night. Like, you want to like go on here and find when they're doing their event.
yeah,
Just
And then
crash?
just check because you can go on like when's their next event and who's going, and I have a picture of who's going. So then like you can see like, okay, there's so many hot girls at this event, and they crash in it.
I wonder if there's a lot of lesbian girls.
yeah, usually they say, like, gay and lesbian group or something like that.
This group is private. Oh. Alright, well, that's no good.
Yeah, I guess because if you're going on a meetup and you're trying to meet lesbians, you're just gonna straight up look for the lesbian group. You're not gonna just go to that.
Yeah.
Well, what he did is he went on the site, and then he was like, oh, this girl Amy, she's hot, she's going to Blush. So we went to Blush, found her in line. He walked up. He's like, Amy? Dude, what's going on? Holy shit! Oh my god! It's good. You know, and she's like, where do I know you from? He's like, we were fucking wasted at that. I don't even remember that bar. And she's like, oh hey, what's up? And we fucking went, and he's like, when we were going, he's like, take my arm. Bam. It was pretty smooth. And I told the girl behind her, I was like, she had held the RSVP booth before, the VIP booth.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is exactly what we're gonna do. I told her, and I was like, okay, watch play by play, here we go. And then she was actually standing in line the whole time. She saw us do this. She's sitting there shaking her head like, you fucking guys. This is great. Here's what I got so far on the new group. This was going to be like more like the party crew.
Yeah, something that is appealing to women, for women to join.
Yeah, I didn't know about the color of the background. This is how far I got so far. And then I'll show you this is the synopsis that I put for it. So it's like, welcome to the clique. What's up, party people? This is Ryan and DJ Maz, and we created this group hoping to find like-minded people who are as outrageous as us and want to bring the spirit of Vegas back into the city. Lately, we found this XXX rated 24-hour City of Sin is turning out to be more like a PG rated movie. Well, I think enough of us real Las Vegas locals have had enough of this watered-down BS, and I think it's time we put some life back in the city. We're hoping to link up with the coolest people here and make the coolest site on Meetup. We're also looking for a few organizers who can support during events and have big houses willing to use them to throw great house parties. We're also looking for a group photographer, videographer. That's enough of a sneak peek for now. Can't tell you all our secrets just yet. Summer 2010 is here, baby, so let's make the most of it.
Yeah, that'll attract some party people.
I noticed what,
Is it? I changed it up. But on that one, like, and I know you were saying you wanted to talk about the charity events and shit.
yeah.
He's got some under the radar sneaker shit, bro. I like it.
Oh yeah?
What was that site? The Hell's Fire?
Oh, the Hellfire Club. That's
On
more
Meetup?
of a- No, it's a wiki. It was an actual club in history, and they were just
Oh.
in the early 1900s, late 1800s. They were just a bunch of partying crazy motherfuckers. They had all these statues of pagan gods, and they did these sort of mock rituals, and they had all these girls running around and probably doing drugs and everything else, and they were sort of anti-establishment, like practical jokes, like Fight Club kind of stuff, but back in the late 1800s. But the spirit of it, like I mean, and it may be like tough for some people if they're religious or whatever, because I'm not. But like, did you see Eyes Wide Shut?
Yes.
Do you remember that scene when he gets in the mansion? They have those robes on. There's like that orgy.
I think
You know,
so.
like people are just
I
having
saw it
sex
a
out in the
long
open.
time ago, but I think so, yeah.
Something like that,
Yeah.
but more wild and chaotic. You know, that's just kind of that would be like my ultimate sort of party, I guess. Mansion party thing, something like that, where it's just crazy. I mean,
Yeah,
you don't have to do like any rituals or anything, but just the idea of like just that theme of like paving the robes or like just like a toga party.
Right.
You know, something crazy, but yeah, that. Well, and just the spirit. I love the name too, the Hellfire Club. They were just all about like drinking.
What is it, the what?
The Hellfire Club.
Hellfire?
Yeah, by Sir Francis Dashwood.
Look it up.
His was the best one, I think. But they often got involved in political stuff. And
Hellfire
there
Club,
was-
Wikipedia.
yeah.
Hellfire Club homepage. Fetish Club.
Yeah, there's a Marvel Comics thing in the same name. You see that one where it says Sir Francis Dashwood? That's the one that's. There's more on it, but this gives you an idea of what they're all about.
Yeah, I want it to be like, I want to draw a lot of like kind of crazy people and a lot of girls that are going to be
Yeah.
into that kind of scene. Like, not the snobbish girls, but the girls that I say, like, the girls that are going to be like, I love Johnny Knoxville, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That kind of like crazy shit, or they're going to be a lot more sexually open, you know? Kind of like, so we can start playing the game with like a certain cheat code on it. That's less challenge.
I'll tell you what, man, I'm meeting girls lately that are just they're coming up with things I would never have expected. I'm very pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that speed date thing, Cynthia is the organizer. I got her number if we ever want to collaborate something with her.
The black chick?
Yeah, she's black or half black. And she loves country music. And she loves cowboys. She's the sexiest thing ever. And I was like, wow. I was thinking you're not exactly the typical cowgirl.
Yeah.
But she was totally into it, you know.
Oh,
So, yeah. And, yeah, I mean, this probably wouldn't be a good idea for the charity aspect, but I'd have to do some research on it and see what we could come up with. I got to think about a bachelor auction, or I don't know. I'd have to look more into the nature of charities themselves. You know, like a walk like that.
When you said that at first, I was getting the picture in my head about like being at the soup kitchen at the homeless place, but
Yeah.
I don't think that's what you mean, right?
No. Just like events, like dinners and stuff. Actually, when I talked to Cynthia, because I said I really like to cook, and I, you know, when I get another house, I say I really like to host parties and stuff like that. She said, "Oh, that'd be great. You know, we can have the events at your house." And I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." But then I started thinking about the mansion idea too, and I still think that's a good idea if we can put it together. But for me, buying a house right now, I probably won't be able to do for a while. I mean, I can still search, but if everything works out, we can use my place for, you know, someplace to kind of bring him back in.
Nice.
I know what I'm thinking is like to always think big, like some sort of something that would create a really big buzz. Like I was running this idea by my uncle today. I was like, I always wanted to do a talk show, and it would be called Vegas Baby Vegas. And I was thinking, I would be the host, and you guys would be the producers. So you have the upper level thing, and then we'd shoot like a pilot episode and try to get somehow get some people on there and leak it onto YouTube, and then start scouting for women. Like say, oh, you're just some casual. We're putting together this pilot for a new talk show that's centered here in Vegas, Vegas Baby Vegas, and we're looking for girls. It's a little bit like the Man Show. It's a little bit like the Daily Show, and it's got a lot of cool, crazy stuff in there. And then say, actually, the guy who is the host, he's having a pool party tonight, so if you want to come over, stuff like that. Although my uncle didn't think he thought it would be different, and I was like, but you know what? What if we really got a talk show in Vegas? That would be so cool. And he's like, I don't know.
So what I'm trying to do right now is, well, I just got this cam. I'm pitching him some ideas, but I'm going to try to start making somewhat of a homemade reality show.
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to start getting on YouTube, along with some daily dating tips, along with all kinds of stuff from our group, and see if it can just go somewhere.
Yeah. Like just
But it's going to be kind of wild and crazy. That's some good shit.
I went out when I was in film school. My buddy and I went out with camera, tripod, and lights, and we told everybody we were like Real Sex, HBO, and we were on the strip interviewing people.
Oh, sure.
Man, you would not believe the reaction from girls. Like they were just, it was like cake. It was just like, because it looked so authentic, and I just sold it. You got a mic and you want to interview people, and they were just eating that shit. And if I would have known then, what I know now, I would have had about 15 members that night.
Yeah, nice.
It's just amazing. And we talked everywhere. We talked to couples. We were like, hey, tell us the craziest thing you did in your sex life. And this one hot chick, she was like, oh, I took a milk bath. And I was like, wow, that must have taken a lot of milk, and I mean, they were just all flirtatious, and because you're doing that whole kinesthetic sensory thing where you're bringing out the most sensual things they've done, and they're talking about it, and it was just, actually, I would do that again. If someone had a camera, we could, you have to be careful where you set up, because MGM made us move.
Yeah.
But we went to that place that's the Lion's Den, I think now. It used to be striptease. We went into that club and told them we were HBO and shot footage, and they kicked us out too, but fortunately we made it out without getting beat by the bouncer. And then we tried to get into the Mandalay Bay club right there by the entrance. I can't remember what that place is called, by the Red Square. But
Like rainforest or some shit?
yeah, that one with the fire and
Nice.
waterfalls and shit. We didn't get in, but it was a great time. I mean, it's just it was like being a correspondent for a year or something out on the street. And there's just, I mean, it was late. There was just gorgeous women all over the place. It was awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I would love to do something. I always thought about like putting an ad in the paper looking for models or actresses, say we have a project coming up. But, the other thing is you can just go out and sarge like normal too.
Yeah.
But I'm just always thinking of like big things that could get us attention and just bring them in like knots through flame and possibly get us like something real, like an actual reality show or something. I don't know.
That's where I like to push to, because we're getting a lot of attention. I'm getting a new email in my box every day from a different organizer from another group.
Yeah.
Talking about he said something, he's like, I like you and your organizer team, we love the way you're marketing your group, and we know people are coming back, and we'd like you to be our spokesperson, and we definitely compensate you for it. Cool. And then some other organizer was like, yeah, we should, I'd love it if, when we do our events, you guys could be at the same spot so we can, merge and meet up and da-da-da.
Yeah, I've been noticing the same thing too. Like this guy that teaches at UNLV wanted, well, when Adam and I went to Todd English Pub, he wanted us to come in and talk about this stuff.
Yes.
And I was like, sure, I'll talk about it. You know, that's cool. So it's, I mean,
To his class or something?
yeah, I mean, I have his card. I didn't really look at it. I just threw it in my pocket. But I mean, I'm definitely seeing. I mean, I've only started really getting out, like since that first Wednesday when I came, and like a lot of people were here.
Yeah.
And I'm really amazed by, you know, because I'm not just thinking in terms of like mystery method. I'm thinking in terms of social networking too.
Right.
Like if you want to host a party, or I've been with a band, which I don't know if that's gonna work out now because my ex-girlfriend's a whore. But you know, I was thinking about looking for venues to play and stuff like that. You know, and just kind of opening things up. I mean, I've been a loner all my life, so and you know, I'm thinking, yeah, it's time for a change. Time to get out. Time to do something.
What do you play?
Guitar and sing.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one reason I pursued her, is because I thought we could do duets, like we work well together. You know, we just think like that. She's a bar girl and she needs guy. I mean, she dances at play in bars. She's typical stripper material. She needs constant, you know, input to let her know she's attractive and worthy and everything.
Daddy issues?
Huh?
Does she have daddy issues or no?
I think she does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her dad actually turned out to be gay.
Yeah, exactly.
So she's gorgeous, but she's just gotten ridiculous.
Explain to me daddy issues.
Well,
I think I know what that means since I've heard that term a couple times.
it just means exactly what it is. Just
Yeah.
issues with her father. Like, either the father used to cheat her on the mom, or
Well,
could be anything, you know.
she needs attention to be validated. You know, to be.
Because her father didn't give it to her.
Yeah.
You know, like most strippers have that sort of problems.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. She needs to know that she's beautiful and loved and desired. You know, like we'll go out and you know, our relationship was always kind of open. I told her, I don't care who you fuck. Just when you're with me, you're with me. When we go out, you know, like, and there's been a few nights where I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna stop by there because she's probably with what's his name or whatever, and I don't want to make a dramatic scene or whatever.
She a stripper?
Yeah.
Oh,
But there's things that made us friends that I felt like were more like I was there when she had her baby. I was the only one there. It wasn't mine, you know, because we're friends. You know, we do stuff together. We had an understanding. But you know, when we go out, she likes girls and guys, but she's already talking to this person. Already talking to this person. She's like, I just like to go out and talk to people. And I'm like, but you know what? The fuck am I here for? You know, you're not making me feel like to talk about higher value. And I don't mind if she, you know, I don't mind generally if she's talking to people and just flirting with it. She just gets drunk and, you know, and she's the kind of girl that she likes to make guys vie for her, you know. Like I've seen, she's destroyed her last boyfriend. He ended up going to jail, losing his job. And I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna. You're looking for a reaction from me.
How did that happen?
Long story, but her and her sister and her are both like model escort. Her sister was a Playboy or something like that. I tell you what, she's pretty hot, but I will not introduce you to her because remember when you were talking about vampires and leeches? This is exactly what her sister is. She's really hot, but she'll just suck your life away.
Yeah.
Anyway, they got kicked out of their house because supposedly the guy that she was married to was molesting her daughter. So they needed a place to stay. And I told Teresa, I said, you can't stay here because, I said, if you want to stay here yourself, you and Stephanie, that's fine. But your sister can't stay here. I don't trust her. So they were actually out on the street, and she said, I'm going to stay with my sister, that's family. I said, all right, that's your choice. You know, I gave you the choice. So then she finally broke away with her sister, and she stayed with me for a while, and then she found this guy, he was a dealer and a pit boss down at Paris. And she moved in with him and started living with him. And he was the kind of guy that he wanted to try to impress her, so he was always buying her things. I was like, that's cool. You can buy shit because I ain't buying shit. You know, because I didn't do any
You
work.
stayed with this girl after all that?
I didn't stay with her. We were just lovers.
Okay.
We were friends, but we were still intimate.
Yeah.
You know, it's just how it ended up to be. And like, you know, I go over there as a friend, and I don't know if he knew or not. I didn't really care.
You fuck her at her place?
Yeah, on his bed.
Huh. Wow, you're not scared the guy's gonna show up at home and just fucking...
Yeah, he was in some kind of biker group. No, my thing is like, if you're gonna kill me, you know? Don't fuck around, shoot me, you know? Get it done. It's, what scares me is the in-between. It's like if you're in a motorcycle accident, you're paralyzed or something like that.
Yeah.
Getting killed, I'm like, fuck, let's bring it on, you know? But we were really sincerely friends. We cared for each other. You know, every once in a while we'd sleep together, but there was just, I drew a line, and I think she resented that. Like, she had to get another guy and sleep with him in order to get him to take care of her. And I think in some ways she resented that, so she sometimes gets drunk or upset and tries to make me jealous or make me feel bad. So, I don't know if you guys have ever been in a situation like that.
No, I haven't.
But
Sounds messy.
it's bitter. It's bittersweet because the sex is good, but everything else kind of sucks. And we both were working on, we both were in a couple bands together and stuff like that. And it just, you know, it creates like...
So she's a stripper and she's a good singer?
She's an excellent singer. She has one of the best voices I've ever heard, but she's got issues, you know. She's just not moving ahead in life. Her daughter is actually an incredible voice too.
Oh, the daughter's older now?
Yeah, she's 16 or 17.
Oh, wow.
But
Much older.
yeah, she, you know, I don't know. I did just like that guy said, you know, I kind of cut her off. But I don't know what's going to happen. But, you know, the thing is, I think it was Mystery that said that. It's easier to move on to something else than to try to fix someone and do damage control.
Yeah, of course.
You know? And that's what I've been trying to do. And I'm like, you know, this ain't working. She's stubborn as fucking hell. She doesn't want to listen.
Yeah, somebody like that, I mean, she has bigger problems than you can handle. And it's not your business to fix her.
And you know, she purposely, like when she'd go out with Jason at bars and stuff, she'd purposely like hang on another guy and sort of flirt around. I don't know if she kissed him or not, but just to make him jealous. And I was like,
Yeah.
dude, I would not. I would not
All it
love
is
that.
she's extremely insecure of herself. So she just needs to do that to get validation and attention.
I think so. I know her pretty well, but the part about it is, you know, like, because I like to hike with that group, and I'm always telling her, hey, come on, let's go hiking. If it was 3 strikes, you're out, she would have been gone a long time ago. Because I know I'd go over there like 70 times, because I know she gets depressed and she wasn't feeling it. Come on, let's just go for a walk. Let's just go. You know, because I'm her friend. It's not just. It wasn't a boyfriend girlfriend sexual thing. But after a while, you know, you have to just say, you know what? She just doesn't understand. She doesn't appreciate it. She doesn't. Even her daughter, who's like 16-year-old. How much of the perception of the world does a 16-year-old have? She's telling me all this stuff, and I just couldn't believe it. She's like, she loves you. She cries herself to sleep, but she tells you you're an asshole. She tells you you're bad in bed and all this stuff. And I'm thinking, wow.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
you left?
Yeah, luckily I'm secure in my masculinity.
Yeah.
Or else it would have really broke me down. But,
She's got issues.
yeah.
Big issues.
And she's stubborn, and she doesn't want to, at least according to what I think and what her daughter thinks, is that she's afraid to open up because she's afraid to get hurt because I'm a womanizer. So,
Because of what?
I'm a womanizer.
You?
Yeah.
Trust me, it has nothing to do with you.
I know.
Womanizer.
Interesting story, though.
Yeah, well, that's why you kind of have to avoid those people altogether, you know, but it's so hard when they're really hot.
Yeah, we have a pretty good chemistry in the bedroom, and that's usually what keeps me coming back.
I was in a really shitty relationship for like a month,
Yeah.
and it was just out of like necessity, you know, like sometimes you just, that's what you got,
Yeah.
and that makes you like crazy and like blind, and you just want to keep going with it, but in reality there's a million other better people for you.
You know, it's funny because I was just reading this really cool book about finding your destiny, and this lady says that sometimes you're in a relationship that's holding you back, and it's shackles on, but you don't want to leave because it's comfortable. You're familiar with it. She says, but really, to take the shackles off, you have to leave, and it's one of the most painful things to do. You know, and I've been in that situation so many times because, I've been in long-term relationships, like a year or two, where it's just run its course, or maybe 6 months, and you know you have to leave, and you just don't even want to go there anymore.
Yeah,
It's
that's-
like, you gotta go.
I think it was like the second to last newsletter that I read from these guys. It was exactly about that. It was like, at the end of the day, every relationship has a beginning, a middle, and an ending.
Yeah.
And some people throw away their whole life because they refuse to accept the end.
The end, it's fucking painful as hell, dude. It's fucking.
And they just don't care, and they refuse to accept it, and they just suffer for the whole lives.
They end up getting married, and then they're really a walking zombie.
Damn.
No, I've had to walk away from some. I've been in love with two women at the same time. I'm sincerely like. I said, you know what? I just love you all.
Actually, I had that problem, but when I was like much younger, I remember I broke up with one girlfriend, and I got this new girlfriend. It was a point. I was like, wow, I really like both of them. What the hell?
Yeah.
I didn't think it was possible.
I told them, and they understood. They were like, oh, let's go. My girlfriend used to let me go out with my ex-girlfriend.
That's insane.
And she was not jealous. And I know I couldn't get over it. I was like, you need to come back.
Like,
So-
go out and fuck her, and she knew?
I don't think she knew that.
Oh, okay.
But we actually, I went out to dinner with her and my ex-girlfriend. But she felt really confident and comfortable in the fact that there was nothing going on between me and that ex-girlfriend. And there wasn't, which was cool. Now with Teresa, there definitely was something going on. I'm surprised she didn't catch on, but she told me if she ever caught me cheating, she would leave. And sometimes I would think, she's got to know, you know? I don't know, maybe she's just in that denial or something. But
Cheating is a whole different topic
What's up, buddy?
that I struggle with, because I've never cheated on any
Yeah,
girlfriend,
man. I was just I seen that
but
you
the
were
more I
going through
grow
that.
up,
So
the
you
more
was
cynical I get about relationships, because I realize that, like,
Oh, okay, cool,
everybody
man.
cheats. It's, like, ridiculous.
Sure, we're just kicking it.
I don't
It's like
think
it's-
so.
Like, I've heard from people that are married
three.
that it's pretty much impossible to be, like, loyal to your wife, like,
All right, bud.
forever.
Right.
I mean, I look at my parents. My dad's never admitted to me that he's ever cheated on me. They're still together. They've been together for like 30, 40 years or something ridiculous. But, I mean, I've never talked to him about it. Who knows if like 30 years ago. Like, I don't know. I have a feeling it's like, I can't remember. Like I found out recently that my grandfather used to cheat on my grandmother all the time. And he has like kids that we didn't even know about. So it's just like the more I grow up, the more I struggle to like believe in like real relationships. Like, I don't think there exist. Like,
I don't know. I don't want to believe that. I want to believe that if you ever want to get married with someone, you know, you can trust them. But
but it's definitely tough if you already set yourself up with those standards when you're like dating, like before you get married. If you already cheat on your girlfriends all the time and all that, it's gonna make it
Well,
much more difficult.
this was sort of this is not common. I mean, when I was dating before, I would just say, hey, let's see another woman, and if you don't like it, we don't have to hang out anymore.
That's crazy. So you basically just go straight up with the like open relationship frame, like.
And 100% across the board, none of them said, oh, well, I can't see you. Every one of them was like, that's cool. When you have time for me, can we hang out next Wednesday or whatever? And I was like, I don't know, whatever.
So it wasn't like real girlfriends then.
No, they were.
Really?
Love it.
The kind that bring you food, care about you, that's, to me, that's girlfriends. They, taking care of you.
That's cool, man. That's pretty
then,
amazing.
They leave, and then, like, you may have 12 people you can call on a certain weekend, and then they get married, they leave, they move, they relocate,
I notice that a lot.
especially
If
here.
you don't claim them as your girlfriend, they'll fuck you casually for so long, and then they tend to just kind of like, all of a sudden, like, yeah, I have a boyfriend now,
Yeah.
and then you're kind of like axed out, and you gotta like move on to your next MLTR.
A lot of times I would,
NLTR? What's that?
Long-term relationship.
yeah, I would find one that I liked and I'd stick with it. I'd be like, I'd kind of sort of process of elimination. I'd be like, I'm out with all these girls and I really like that one, so I'm just going to spend most of my time with her. And then you're spending so much time with her, it just turns into a kind of boyfriend-girlfriend type situation. But I was able to stay friends with a lot of them, which is really cool. I mean, just friends, not like friends with benefits or anything. Just like, hey, how you doing? I just got married. Oh, that's great. Congratulations. Oh, we're gonna have a baby. Oh, it's awesome. Send me some pictures, like that kind of stuff. The humanity part of it.
How long have you been in Vegas?
20 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I was married when I came here.
Holy shit! You moved here married?
Yeah.
That's a recipe for disaster.
Isn't it? Well, I know. What you were saying about marriage is interesting because I have a friend who got married, and he married to have children. That's it.
Which I think is probably the only good reason.
And yeah, from what I can see, you get married to have children or for some financial reason.
That's
to
dumb.
sort of bring together your pool together your finances. I mean, I'm skeptical and scared and paranoid because a lot of times I'm the backdoor man, which makes me think, who's going to be the backdoor man when I get married?
Yeah, exactly. It's terrible.
But I've seen relationships that generally seem to be where both people are happy and healthy, and they don't have a need to stray and find other people. But everybody goes through their ups and downs, just like you say. Even my own parents, and
Yeah.
they have doubts and low points and stuff like that. It's just part of life. So it's scary. Well, the thing is, if you're single and you're a pickup artist, you can be lonely. But I've been married and in a relationship and felt the same kind of loneliness. Like I was just not attached to someone. I was like, but at least I can go out with my buddies or try to meet someone new and have the excitement and the adventure. If you're married, you can't really do that without consequence.
Right.
So
Yeah.
So it's probably worse. Well, I could imagine. If you're in a relationship, you already supposedly found the one for you, and then you feel lonely. That's gotta suck. That's probably, yeah.
let me ask you this: do you believe in a soulmate?
Yeah, yes and no. I have like a weird view on it because I feel like there isn't one soulmate for you. I feel like you can create your own soulmate, and you can turn many people into your soulmates.
Or like at different points in your life, because you kind of change. And it's like,
But I don't believe that you need to find somebody in order to be happy. I think happiness is like within.
Well, yeah. What's the old saws? Like if you're doing what you like to do and you're okay with yourself, then that's when someone else comes in the picture.
Why did you ask me that question? If I believe in soulmates.
I just like to have other people's opinions because it's a curious thing, because I feel like I've had lots of soulmates, like you said.
Exactly, yeah.
In the course of my life, it's not just
I
one.
mean, I believe in falling in love, I think that's a real thing. that can happen.
Absolutely.
And when you do, sometimes it feels like that's the only person in the world that you care about. That I believe in, but it doesn't mean that that is the one person that was like predestined to be with you. You know, I feel like you can just as easily find somebody else and fall in love with them. You know.
And you usually do when you're with that person.
Yeah.
Because people are drawn to you. Like, what's this guy about? He's got this gorgeous chick with him. What's going on with him?
Yeah.
I know, it's, you know, like I want to believe in magic and romance and the idea of some destiny. Yeah. But even with the girls I've been with, it's not like it's been free of problems when I was in a relationship.
Yeah.
There's always been
Relationships are difficult, man. They take
Yeah.
work.
challenges.
They take work.
Absolutely.
That's why they're not just about love. They're about like commitment. You know. And I don't know. I'm not really looking for relationships right now.
You remember
Only the casual ones.
Burgess Meredith and Dirty Old Men, or what's the movie with Jack Lemmon? Where they're the two old men. He goes, when you have a chance to get a girl, you mount her. And that's it, you know. And there's this old, like, 80-year-old guy telling, hey man, if a girl's gonna open up for it, then you gotta tap it. Ever since then, I've been like, man, if there's an opportunity, I'm there. You don't want to pass that up and regret it later on.
It'll always be closing.
Yeah. So.
ABC.
ABC.
But I'm blown 2 chances this week because it just came out of nowhere and I wasn't expecting it. And now I keep thinking, you got 3 seconds, you gotta be ready. Boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom. You know?
Story of my life.
And then all of a sudden there's some chick smiling at you. You know, you're on your way home, you think, all right, party's over, going home. Then all of a sudden, she's looking at me walking by and I'm thinking, man, that was nice. What the hell are you doing, dude? You know?
One of the most frustrating things for me is missed opportunities. Like, and I had a couple of smacks on my face, like not too long ago when I was in Vegas, before I left for 2 months, like 3 months ago. I remember I was walking by myself, and it wasn't like I wasn't going out gaming that night, although you should always be gaming,
Right.
everywhere. But there's another lesson. on that night. But I was walking back to the valet at Caesars to get my car, and I see this really hot chick just coming out by herself. And she's standing, and then she goes and she stands like 10 feet from me, and I don't remember if I got an I think I asked her a question, or yeah.
CJ.
Password. Seacrest.
Oh shit.
You got Bud Light too? Seacrest out.
Oh, more Bud Light.
Seacrest out.
The beer of the day.
I'm Nick, man. I'm crushing here for 2 days.
CJ, what's up?
Oh man.
How you doing?
Good, how's it going?
Good.
So the
I brought back your thing here.
Oh yeah. Man, I gotta put on my computer. You just
that thing can grow rich.
Double check that I got everything in it.
audio CD.
It's awesome.
That's what I
dude.
usually listen to in the shower.
This is one of the original, most powerful things that started a lot of other stuff. This is actually the origination of The Secret, the original
Oh, yeah.
concepts of The
Oh
Secret.
yeah?
This is incredible.
So it's all about positive thinking.
It's been around forever, but it's just got real powerful stuff in it.
It's
Yeah.
more of a
Yeah.
pragmatic. It's not so metaphysical as like The Secret.
Can I put it on my iTunes?
Yeah, you can dump it in.
Okay,
That's why I was listening
thank
to 50
you.
Cent this morning, because usually I have that on.
Thank you
so
very
like,
much
yeah.
for that, brother. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, bro.
Alright, so long story
That's
short,
fine.
I didn't do anything. My car shows up. No, this is what happened.
One beer?
Two complete chodes come out of Caesar Palace.
Picked up a video
Like,
camera and shit.
complete chodes. Like,
Super
old
They're
guys.
all over.
Like,
Charles was
Much
talking about
older
buying a
than
video
me,
camera.
like,
Did he buy one too, or is
dressed like chodes.
know,
like, you
Richard
could tell
bought one
they
as
just
well.
finished getting
Oh,
wasted. They
Actually, you were
didn't
here last week.
talk to anyone or anything.
But it's the same
that
thing,
night.
that hard disk
I
recording.
use
They were
my
kinda drunk.
little camera for
And they just go up to her, and then I realized why that girl was
Yeah,
there,
that's
like
nice
10 feet
looking.
from me. She was right under the heater. And I could have easily
Anybody want
gone
beer?
next to her. I'm good, thank you.
Charles is gonna,
I could have easily
Yeah, he
rolled
said he
up
was
next to
gonna
her,
go too.
share the heater, and start talking to her.
Yeah.
And because I think I think
said
she
Charles
was staring
was
at me, so I was
He
like,
said he was gonna
I-
get one
I
too,
couldn't
as
do
well.
anything. Dude, next thing I know, my car pulls up.
And the guy starts talking to her, the old choice.
PUALair.com.
Oh yeah,
to
he's
your
asking her
website.
questions, like really juicy stuff.
That's like the
I'm
simplest.
like, oh yeah, that guy has a shot.
That's 90%.
PUALair.com.
And I get in my
It's that
car,
simple.
and they're exchanging phone numbers. And I was like,
That was when
are
you
you
bought it.
kidding me?
That was when you bought.
I could have like, I could have done 10 times better job than that guy. Who knows? The girl was lonely. Clearly, she was hot.
I might have got
I
Vegas.
could sense it that she was like looking for somebody too. And
You know that list that
I was like, at that point when I saw that guy getting her number, I was like, I am never missing another
To the
opportunity.
meetup site, that's where I'm at?
Yeah, they all do their tips.
I'd rather fail and burn than to live with that feeling that you didn't do anything. That's the worst feeling, man.
I know, I saw someone gorgeous at the bus stop today.
What did I just miss? What happened?
Just a
We were
quick
just
story
talking
about
about
missing
missed
opportunities and not taking action.
What happened? I'm sorry. I should.
It was just a quick story that I saw this really hot girl and I think she was like staring at me and I didn't do anything about it, and next thing I know there's just two complete chode looking guys. It was
Yeah.
like 2 in the morning it was like, and they show up and they start running like awful game asking her questions and stuff. And before I know it, the valet pulls up with my car and they're exchanging phone numbers.
Oh yeah,
I was
dude.
like,
So you like missed opportunity.
I was like,
Well,
what is
okay.
wrong with me?
I was in Imperial Palace the other night, and this black guy there just taught me something. I don't know, like a couple weeks ago, because I'd be like, you know, because I get out there and I'll dance a little bit, whatever. And he goes, no, watch this, and there'll be a girl dancing over here, and he'd just get up and put his butt up against her, and start dancing. And he just kept doing that to different girls. So last night, I think it was last night or night before last. I decided to try it, so I just went up. These girls were dancing. I just went up and got right behind her and started dancing. Or I had her butt right against me, and she goes like this. She goes like, you know. So then I just fuck it. I kept moving on. Then I got this black girl, and I just started dancing up against her, and she started rubbing up against me. You know, so it's like I kind of learned from that, because I've always I've never really known like how to do the club thing. You know, how do you? But I think that's one way to do it, you know? You go through a few, just fucking get up and start grinding. If they react differently, act like it was an accident, move the other direction, keep going.
Did you read
And, well, the last part of that is that, so I did that with that one girl, and she goes, well, so what are you doing? I said, well, I'm dancing, I'm hanging out. No, what are you doing next? I said, I don't know, I'm hanging out, I guess. She goes, oh, because I wanted to go with you. As she starts walking away or something. But in my mind I was thinking, she might be a hooker. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking, I should have said, hey, well, where are you from? So I kind of lost that opportunity. Anyway, I have an announcement to make, guys. I am 45 years old, guys, and I had my first virgin last night or the night before.
Oh.
Thank you. She was fucking 18 and I'm 45. And I didn't pay for her. Dude, I've been buzzing ever since.
Tell us the story, man.
Yeah.
So I go into Imperial
Can I
Palace.
open the door?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of warm, huh?
I was just,
And I farted.
Thanks for sharing, bro.
It's just warm.
So I walk into Imperial Palace, because I like Imperial Palace, kind of, you know.
What's in
easier.
there?
the AC instead?
Oh, you don't mind?
That's gonna be like moths and shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's in IP? What is
Imperial Palace.
No, but what is in there?
No, Imperial Palace.
Karaoke.
You got the bar. You got the bar area in there, just regular casino. But one thing I like about Imperial Palace is I can go to this one bar. I could sit right here, and all the chicks pass this way and that way. And there's a mirror over here, so I can see chicks coming from behind me, and I can see chicks coming from in front of me.
You go by yourself?
Yeah, sometimes I do that. So that's why I like Imperial Palace, whatever. And also because it has the Rock House in front. And like every night of the week, you can party in the Rock House where there's not parties somewhere else. And the Rock House chicks, if you're feeling like your game is a C and you don't have your A confidence, go to the Rock House because you get a little bit. The Rock House has more fun people that are. They're not like the snooty club girls anyway. So I walk in Imperial Palace. And one thing I normally do is I'll just look, if I'm going to go sit and gamble or something, I'll look for a hot chick to sit next to. What the fuck? Why am I going to sit somewhere else, dude? You know what I'm saying? And that's one other thing that, like, you know, is kind of just like an accomplishment, even in a small way, is like, yeah, it's kind of bold to just, if there's an empty bar, you sit right next to the hottest chick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If she's there by herself. So I just make a habit to do that. I just walk up,
Usually a hooker though.
sit down, whatever. Yeah, well, I could tell those. I could tell the hookers.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I'm walking around and I see at the bar, there's this two chicks sitting over in the corner, like gambling. And you know, one of them looks cute, whatever, so I go up and I sit next to her, and I just start, you know, getting ready to play my game, and this girl looks at me, this pretty little Mexican face looks at me, and she goes, do you know how to play, whatever, blackjack? She's trying to play blackjack with her mom. Her and her mom are right there. So, I'm like, yeah. I'm like, okay, so hit that right there, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just teaching her how to play blackjack, this, that, and the other.
You gotta game them all.
And, oh yeah, well here's what happened. So I'm talking to the chick, and I'm like, oh really? Yeah, that's cool. I'm talking to her, and I'm showing interest in the younger chick. And let me get to the other part, because I know you're supposed to go, you know, get the cock lock that way first. But anyway, I'm showing interest in her, and she goes, well, how old are you? And I said, I'm 40. You know, I'm really 45. I said, I'm 40. She goes, I'm 18. I said, you're 18. I said, how are you here drinking? Nobody fired you or anything like that? She goes, oh, no. She goes, in Mexico, it's okay. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. So I'm kind of having a little fun with her. She goes, well, maybe you should be interested in my mom. You know, and I'm like, oh, I get it. So then, at one point, when she said that, I took her chair and I backed it up.
Nice.
And I reached across to her mom and I said, let me see your hand. And her mom was actually kind of cute. You know, also not bad. And I said, let me see your hand. And I did a magic trick in her hand in front of her girl. And I was just flirting with her mom. Yeah. And I was flirting with her mom.
Teach me the trick.
And I physically pulled the girl's chair back because she's feeling like a little left out. And so now I'm flirting with the mom because I want to make her kind of, you know.
Jealous plot line.
Yeah, I want to make her a little jealous of her. So I'm flirting with the mom, this, that, and the other. And then the girl goes, hey, you pulled me back. I feel left out. I said, oh, here, bring it back in. There you go. So I kind of ignored her for a little bit, flirted with her mom a little bit. Then they had a couple shots. The next thing, the girl's like looking at me. She goes, so what do you want to do? And her mom's like right there. I go, well, why don't we get out of here? Why don't we go somewhere? And she goes, oh, okay. And she told her mom something in Spanish, and then we walked off. And so I'm walking along. Well,
so they live in Mexico.
Yeah, she said some other little things too. She goes, oh, I've always dreamed of this. I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. Oh, I've always dreamed of this. Okay, well, let's go. So she goes with me, and we're walking, and I stop and I catch up my ticket, and I kind of give her a smooch right there, kiss her a little bit, and this, that, and the other. And
the lips?
Oh yeah, we start. I just kind of went for it because it's kind of obvious she's interested or whatever. So then we go and walking along, and she's talking to me about. She goes, "Will you teach me?" And I'm like, I didn't really know what she meant, and I go, "Yeah, I'll teach you."
I like that.
In my mind, I think she means sexually something, whatever. I said, yeah, baby, I'll teach you. So we kept going along, and every once in a while I'd stop and I'd just hold her face and make out with her a little bit. Because I'm taking her to my car now, actually going to take her home. And we keep walking, whatever. She goes, I want it now. And I know this sounds like a ridiculous story, guys.
She was drinking.
And let me just say, a couple of my friends have told me they don't believe my story. Which I'm like, wow, what the fuck? Because I've always told them before, no, I didn't get lucky tonight. No, I didn't get lucky tonight. So I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, if I give you a good story, listen to it. So then I'm carrying her along. She goes, I've always dreamed about this. I don't know what she means right now. Because at this point, I don't know she was a virgin.
About meeting you, the man of her
No,
life.
trust me, I don't believe that's what it was. Later I figured out, after I fucked her, after it was all over, is when I figured out she was a virgin. That's what she meant. I'm sure of it. Because she never even told, because later, like when it was all over, said and done, I told her, I said, what did you mean earlier when you said you always dreamed about this? I said, did you always dream about being with a white guy in America? Or did you always dream about being with a Las Vegas bartender? And she goes, oh, I'm not going to tell you. But I figured out I know she's a virgin. I had so many indicators that at the end of the night that I figured it out.
Did she hurt like crazy?
At the beginning, yeah. And then she, stopped it.
Maybe blood.
And there was blood at the end. And here's one reason why I know it wasn't on her. She wasn't on her period. This was like just the final thing that made me realize she's a virgin. Because there was other things. Number one, oh, will you teach me? Will you teach me? Number two, you know, I have her at the house and I go, hey, will you do this? And she goes, you're my master. I'll do whatever you tell me to do. In other words, I mean, it's crazy, dude. I mean, once in a lifetime situation, I'd say. And so, yeah, I taught her what to do. I'm like, why don't you sit right there and I'll stand right here? I mean, fucking, you know, I'll teach you.
Where do you bartend?
So number one, she's like, I'll take Paris. So she's like, well, will you teach me? Will you teach me? Then, okay.
Are you familiar with culture at all?
What about?
Tiny bit.
Teach me this trick while he's on the phone.
What trick?
What is the trick? The hand trick.
Oh, that.
Complicated? It's complicated?
I'd rather do it to a chick in front of you later. Is that cool?
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
It's nothing to do with man 20 years old.
What's that?
For
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's possible she liked me too, but I don't know.
It's
I
actually
really.
desirable.
Yeah.
Hello?
Because you're more experienced.
Yeah, what's up, brother?
Just like you, as last night.
Yeah,
demonstrated.
we're just chilling like
Yeah.
4
Night before last.
That's
I
what they.
think of it.
That's what they want. That's what they like.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, they still like
I
people
remember.
their age.
Yeah. She's a little bit, a little thicker than I like spinners. I like 105-pound, 5 foot tall women. That's what I like.
Yeah, man.
So she's a little more, you know, a little more medium size. I have a picture of her, by the way. So
Adam's rolling for right now.
I don't have a picture of her face, but I got a picture of her laying.
Send the big girls my way. No shame in my game.
She's not big, though. She's just, you know.
I know. I'm thicker.
I got a lot of friends that like thick girls. I like friggin'
So,
anorexic.
dude, I mean, she just did everything I told her to do.
That's awesome, dude.
Oh, man.
They're nice.
That's awesome.
So I'm like buzzing the next day. This was actually the night before last, not last night. So I'm buzzing the next day, and at work I'm just, I gotta tell a couple of the guys, and I even told a couple of the guy customers. And I got this one motherfucking guy customer who goes, dude, you fucking should be on stage, dude. You saw us two suckers over here, and you thought you'd try to tell us a story. And for the next fucking 2 hours, this guy, it's like, I just want him to shut up. I don't care anymore if he believes me or not. But he's like, you just wanted to see. I said, bro, it just happened. I was excited. I told him, sorry. You know. So, anyway, I give you a picture now.
It happens.
Dude, when I had a threesome with that fucking, those two sisters, I tried to tell my buddy back home, and he's like, bullshit.
Yeah.
He's like, they were real sisters, and I was like, yeah. One was fucking 19, 116 and shit. And he's like, bullshit. And I don't believe you. He's like, that's like $1 million fuck. That's something that happens on pornos.
Exactly.
I was like, no, fuck you, man. Like,
And then I go tell my buddy, the bartender, who I talk to about things all the time. Last night I tell him. He's like, dude, I don't believe you. I'm like, the fuck? I mean, actually, I don't believe it either. Dude, because number one, I haven't had an 18-year-old in probably 20 years or more. And number two, I ain't never had a virgin. And I'll tell you what, I'm glad I didn't know she was a virgin. You know why?
Because you might not have done it.
No, I probably would have, because if a girl's into it, I'll be cool with it.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, I'm a little bit stupid about that. And if she would have told me, I would have thought, oh fuck, what if I can't do it?
Yeah.
What if I can't break it or get it in? So later what I learned is I guess you don't need any special skills. You just need a hard dick and
Confidence.
slap some wetness in there and get to town, you know? So I guess, because before that I actually thought that I need to learn how to break a virgin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I guess you don't. You just get horny and fucking it'll happen, right? So that's what I learned.
Yeah, I guess you just have to take it easy at the beginning because it hurts like.
Yeah, I did, yeah. Because I was like, and that's another good indicator. Because I was starting real slow with her, and she's like, ow, ow. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll go slow with her. I'll go slow with her. So,
Nice.
fuck, since we're telling success stories.
All right,
that
picture
happened
time,
last
hold
week
on.
and shit.
let's take a picture. That's her sleeping after I exhausted her.
Did she know you took the picture?
I told her later.
Oh yeah, that's perfection.
Yeah. And she got this big old fucking bushy head of hair, dude.
Yeah.
So perfect for a woman.
Oh
I don't know about the hair. I'm not into the hair.
Well, not on the pussy. I'm talking about her head.
Oh, I thought it sounded like
I don't like
I was like, what?
I don't like hair on the pussy.
I thought you were talking about the pussy.
Matter of fact, my best situation with, as far as that was my Italian girlfriend I used to have used to wax her pussy, and that feels so fucking good. Okay, sir, you have a foot. We're getting some.
Oh no,
I was
this girl was
excited
kinda-
to get that out.
not all that, dude, but I took her home the first night, dude. I took her home to fuck her in the ass.
Yeah,
And she just loved
that's
it.
one way of totally conquering a girl. I mean, and getting her into you, dude.
And she was singing along with that song, you
Really?
know, some of them
True.
want to use you.
If
And then
you
she
will
points to
learn-
me, she's like, some of them want to be used
Yeah.
by you. And I was like, when she did that, I was like, no fucking way.
If you will fuck a girl in the ass proper like,
And then she came back for more the next day.
What are you, trying to say that they really?
You have a higher value than like you just hired your value by like 10 times.
Some girls come on the inside.
Yeah.
They can't come from.
It's because see they enjoy it, but they're afraid to say they would like it because it sounds dirty or whatever. But women like it, and the guy that will give it to them,
sort of broke through a barrier that went into. her
you're
comfort
connecting
zone.
with another part of them that no
Yeah.
one else is connecting.
You know
with
what? That
them.
makes a lot of
And
sense.
it's a part that feels
Um,
good to them too.
So you know, like Sway who used to come.
I don't remember.
I guess I had a different experience. I did with a girl that just really hurt for her. She did like it though. Yeah.
Sway would tell me like, when I fucking ass. And
We gotta do
so
it.
keep that in the down low since
I didn't really like
it. But she would keep saying she's like it's cool that she's like I really like it and she's like a lot of guys she's like I want to do that or they might talk about they'll do it but they never do it.
Right, right.
she's
And a
like,
girl's not gonna fucking usually ask you to do it.
That's funny too,
It's
because
another thing about
But if a girl's never tried it, they usually don't want to try it.
well, but I think there's a way of easing into it. Like the way I eased into.
What?
the thumb test.
Thumb test?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, the way I'll tell you right now, the way I eased into it
Yes.
with a girl that I did it for the first time with,
That's
I
the
just kind of
fucking
laid,
word of the
I just kind
day,
of laid
bro.
beside her and kind of just kept rubbing against her ass, just kind of rubbing it against her ass until eventually it slipped in. So I mean, yeah, if you just fucking, yeah, you know what I'm saying? If you just go, how you doing? Boom, I'm in there. Then, yeah, that may not be a great memory.
Two girls. It's like too tight though. I don't really like it. I don't know.
I hear you. I don't love it either, but I'm just saying.
I love it.
It's
It is a good way of like really, if you learn to like get good with that, it's a way of like making a girl want to come back.
Yeah.
Because a lot of guys won't do it, and the girls like it
Well,
in general.
it can be spontaneous, and sometimes they don't really want to say. They just, if you do it,
Just do it.
I don't like it. Nothing needs to be said. It's just like that was fucking cool.
Yeah.
They'll let you know like if you try to put it in there they're just like wrong hole.
My wife was like, "Thank you very much." She's like, "Oh, this."
Yeah, but some girls will say,
Ex-wife
some girls
or
will
wife?
say
You're
no.
married?
No, this is on my ex-wife.
Oh, your ex-wife.
She generally, honestly, did not want those things. It was like
Yeah, someone
starting out, she was like, "Nah, that doesn't gonna work." I was like, "That's cool."
But some girls will say no just because they don't. They want to. When some girls, when they say no, they're really just saying, "Well, I'm not a slut."
Right.
They're not actually saying no. But some girls aren't going to want it at all,
Yeah.
of course. But I'm just saying, you find a girl that accepts it and you give it to her proper, like you.
It is true that maybe a lot of guys don't even suggest it. So if you do suggest it to a girl that actually likes it,
Yeah.
probably cherish that.
sisters.
What happened? You got sisters?
I have to-
How long ago was that?
Has anybody done a
Halloween.
mother-daughter?
Halloween.
That would be great.
And how old were?
One was 19, one was 16.
Oh my
I was fucking
God,
a 16-year-old doggy style where she's like eating another girl's pussy.
Oh my
And
God.
then
They were
flipped her over on
sisters?
top and the other girl's like licking my balls while she was riding. Yeah, like real sisters.
Have you,
There's a-
have you had any luck with mother-daughters?
I've never had a lot of desire for the mother. I mean, unless the mother's pretty hot.
I fucked up a threesome once.
You know what?
I did that. We gotta stop.
There was a mother that
I will regret that day forever. I fucked up a threesome with two hot girls, one blonde, one brunette. I was just a pussy. It was years ago.
Well,
I was totally sober. If I had a beer in my system, I would have done it.
I was a pussy when I had a threesome too.
It's a little intimidating.
I had
at
one
first.
because my girlfriend kept pushing me into it.
Oh wow.
You know what?
But I
Oh.
was intimidated actually.
Listen to the story though. Not to interrupt you, but 2 times and a chance for threesome with my ex-wife because she liked chicks. And I liked the husband. It was another married couple, and the husband was not there.
You liked?
So no, he was my buddy. Like I was stuck out in the
Oh, I was like, whoa, are you
And he comes out. He
Just
comes
want to
out.
be clear.
He comes out.
Maybe you like that.
And charges, gives my battery a jump like in the middle of the night. I'm thinking, well, I can't really sleep with this guy's wife right now.
No,
'cause
I
he's
mean that's cool.
like
If
that.
it's your friend, it's your friend. Man. Why-
So,
I
so you didn't
passed
want,
up on it
so you had the opportunity for her to do it behind his back.
I was respectful about with the husband, and I was,
Yeah, I'm like that.
I think nowadays I'd be like, let's get it on.
No, I wouldn't do
Not
that.
if it was a guy that you know.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that to a friend. That's just wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they end up getting divorced anyway.
I mean, I'm fucking a girl who's married right now, and I'm still trying to decide if I should keep doing it or not.
They're getting divorced.
I've actually told her, I said, look, why don't you just tell the guy, you guys can still live together, get a divorce, you both fuck who you want, you take care of the kids.
The minute she divorces him, she probably won't even want your dick anymore.
Oh, that's fine with me. I don't care. I love her pussy though.
What were you gonna say?
Where were we at?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, no, there was a mother-daughter. I ended up fucking the daughter. Actually, she flew me out to Ohio for like a week and we stayed in like a hotel. She said she got, and it was totally cool. But like the mom was even like flirting, like fucking trying to like lick in my ear when I first. I was like flirting with her daughter, making out with her daughter, and she's like, "Hey, I'm
I
over
bet
here.
you
You know,
could
don't
have
leave,
threesome
don't
with
leave me
that
out."
girl.
And she's like, "We're crazy like that." She's like, "Yeah, you don't know my mom." And I was kind of like,
So you turned down a threesome with a daughter.
I didn't turn it down. It's just I didn't. Maybe I did in a way because I didn't believe it was actually like that. But looking back now,
you were
it's
just
like
awestruck.
if I had the game that I have now, I went back kind of a year ago, then I probably.
I have a
Yeah,
feeling.
yeah.
I have a feeling I could have turned that into a mother-daughter threesome, because it's like they just seem both like.
Yeah, well,
Just
listening's
going with
historic now, absolutely. But I did the same thing. We were just talking about that.
But back then I didn't have game. I
Yeah.
just had.
Yeah.
I had my confidence built from like all the David D shit, but I didn't have little routine or like just the social awareness of what's going on.
Right.
Like I was like, okay, this is flirting, and I was like, this is good because if the mom's like this, then I know the daughter's like this, and I was like, I bet.
Yeah.
And
I don't even know if I like threesomes that much.
I've never had one.
I like one-on-one a lot. I don't know if I really want a threesome.
I would.
I don't see much of the point. I mean, we only have one penis, so.
I don't know. I did. I like it.
I like watching chicks.
I don't get much out of two girls, like watching two girls, so I don't really get much out of that.
I never watch them. I think feel fucked up. Like I like it's like we'll be fucking women. They just stick.
The only thing I've heard though is that you gotta have two girls sucking your dick at the same time.
Oh
I've
man.
heard it's good.
Yeah?
That makes sense.
No, it doesn't. How does that make sense? Because I want to be inside of a girl's mouth. I don't want to be like two lips on the side of me.
No, because she could be in your mouth. And
It's
the other one's
definitely-
licking your balls.
Oh, that'd be
The
cool.
next day, it's definitely a digital movie.
That'd be cool.
And then they stop and kiss for a minute. And it's cool. It's fun.
Truly. Yeah. I had a little bit of trouble, actually. Because actually, I'm not very good at just fucking a girl that just wants to fuck. I mean, actually, to get me excited, I kind of have to. I'm kind of a bitch in a way. I kind of have to, like, I get warmed up,
I think
Make
that's
out.
I think that's pretty standard.
rub her body, get warmed up. It's like if a chick just wants to go straight to the fuck, it's like, my dick don't get hard that fast. But thank God I was her master. So I was able to do what I needed to do.
So that frame helped.
So I was like, oh, well, you know, this isn't working right now, but why don't you sit down? And so I just basically fucked her in my mouth, nice and slow. And that got me going. Then I could go from there. So I was cool right there. But I can't just jump in and fuck though. I have to have a warm up. I have to be comfortable with the girl, you know what I mean? At this point now.
Did you read The Art of Seduction by Mystery? The silver cover?
By mystery, huh? Because there's another art of seduction out there.
No, that's Green. That's with Robert Greene.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I don't think I read.
You talking about the new one, the pickup artist book?
The pickup artist. It's the artist. I think you should read it.
Good
if you
one?
haven't. It's really opening me up, getting me back.
It's written by
into the game.
mystery.
Yeah.
So mystery is actually a good writer. I mean, he really.
I like him
puts
a
it up
lot.
with
I
people.
know, like, I can't remember who it was that didn't know careful enough, but I resonate with him a lot. And he's like, he adds to what's on the PDF there, the mystery method, and he says that there's 3 things, but then in this book he says, but there's also got to be connection. And I think that's the most important thing that he didn't include in his first book, is like what you're saying, is like, if you can always read and tell, especially for what we do, when there's already an IOI or chemistry or an energy or whatever you want to call it. And, you know, that's a good, that's your cue. But he says a lot of, like you said, you don't like clubs. Clubs have never been my forte. He
I
has
get
this,
a little bit more like, now that I've
Yeah.
learned this butt ride technique to...
that's what he says. He breaks it down. He goes, listen, where's the highest quantity of hobbies? He's not the library, not the
Clubs.
grocery store, not the gym. He's at the fucking clubs.
Yeah.
And so this Adam is kind of like this guy he's schooling that shows up in Miami, in Project Miami, is like sort of like the excuse, the doubting Thomas, like he's basically me. He's like, well, it's loud in there, and it's dark, and it's really not my thing. And
I've done it.
He's like, well, fuck that. He's like,
I'm not
if you want to
afraid
meet girls, and he's, first of all, he's like, don't worry about the other guys, because they're all fucking chumps and Joes anyway. And he's like, whatever, because you're a PUA. He's like, listen to what I say, and you'll be okay. And it's true, and he just breaks it down, and he's like, there it is, there's the hotties, here's what you gotta do, you know, never mind about the cover charts, never mind about the music, never mind about the guys holding beer like this, he's like, and he kills all your doubts. He's like, want to meet hot girls, go to a club, and you adapt, and you evolve, and you kick ass.
I like that idea because, you know what, if you can conquer a club, you can conquer any place.
And the more you do
Because a
it,
club is the highest bit shields you'll find. The highest bit shield on level 10 at the clubs. Where anywhere else, bit shields are lower volumes. You know what I mean?
He also talks about picking up strippers. And he has this one chapter where he actually goes through the 3-minute cycle or performance or whatever you want to pick and strip. And it's
Yeah,
fun.
I want to know about that.
It's awesome. You should read it. I don't hear what you have to
Because
say.
I like to pick up a strip.
Fuck.
Hey,
I already have a little bit of technique I've used with strippers. You know,
I
Have
used
you
to,
seen the
I got a,
Bulletproof Seduction video for picking
I
up
have
fish?
not.
I'll play it. I'll have to load it.
I got contacts from a stripper once, like, and we talked afterwards and everything, and I just did basically what Mystery teaches in, like, in the TV show.
What's the basics? Tell me what the
Well, the
basics
basics
are.
Don't be a
basically-
customer. Do not fucking be a customer.
I agree.
Yeah.
But the way
Basically, you have to nag, obviously, because they
Absolutely.
already have all this fucking value, and then you also have to, like really basically not be a customer, so you gotta, like, talk about anything
That
other
part
than...
I already know.
So, like, you basically,
Yeah.
go, like, a line from the TV show that worked like magic, it's like, you just look at it and you're like, so is there more to you than this? And then the girl immediately starts qualifying herself, and she starts talking, oh, well, I go to school, and I do this and that, and all of a sudden she's, like, trying to impress you, you know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
Dude, I did that, and you just play extremely cocky,
Yeah,
and she gave me her number. It was, like, the hottest chick in this strip club. It was in Miami.
right.
And we,
Oh yeah, some chick was totally trying to shit test me at a club once, at a strip club once.
they can be pretty harsh. I just go back harder. I'm just brutal.
Yeah.
but it's cool because there's no bitch shield at all. Because they want to build rapport because they think they're making a sale.
Right, right.
But if you just fucking, like, twist it on them, you're in, you know?
It does take some finesse, though. It's not just
Definitely.
formula, you know, like cookie cutter recipe.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, you definitely have to have a.
Well, there's one guy I know, his technique with fucking strippers for free, so to speak, was getting strippers, was he'd go to a strip club, you'd see a girl that he likes, and he'd say, hey, you know, I'd like to set something up with maybe you and another girl at my place. What I want to do is I just want to take pictures, and you guys kind of do different things I ask you to do, whatever, to each other. And not to me, but to each other, whatever. And I just like to take pictures for my own, my own use.
Yeah.
And he'd pay him to come do it, whatever. And he'd have refreshments, you know, stripper refreshments sometimes involve ecstasy,
Yeah.
cocaine, whatever.
Okay.
But he'd have refreshments, and what would happen is you get them to their house, you get them licking each other, getting all horny, this, that, and the other. And then they know, like, this is a place to come, like, you know, to relax and party a little bit, you have some drugs, whatever. And eventually, by doing this, the chicks every once in a while would just end up horny because they've been licking the other chick and they want some dick, and his dick's right there, and he's like...
Yeah, but at the end of the day, he's still paying.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, he's not paying for the sex, but he is paying money, though.
Right.
Yeah.
I had a...
But he's not paying for the sex, so... You know, I don't know. Might be a
He's
little,
getting in the door.
you know what I mean? It might be a little different.
I had a friend just told me a story when I was down in Colombia I was down there for a couple of months. He told me about how he fucked a stripper for free. And it was basically him and his buddies going
Hey,
to
it's
the
Dean
strip club.
Cortez, and right now I'm going to lay out some
And
principles for
his
speed
two buddies
music.
wanted to fuck two of the strippers. Well, actually, I met him in a whorehouse. I don't know what it was.
Oh, okay.
But the point is, he fucked her for free. And they brought him back because his friends were going to pay. So, but basically what he did when he was at the place was, like I said, like extreme cockiness. Like he kept telling the stripper, like joking around, like, listen, I'm going to let you have sex with me and I'm not going to charge you or something. And she was like cracking up, like, oh yeah, no, I'm serious. It's like, I mean, come on. You have all these guys paying for sex here all the time. You get a chance to fuck somebody like me.
Right.
You know, a guy that's established. And she kept loving it, just laughing, blah, 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 blah. First, next thing you know, the two buddies are inviting two of the whores back to the house to fuck. So they bring all three of them.
Two of the whores that they're going to pay.
That they're going to pay. But he's not going to pay. He told her straight up, he's like, listen, I'm not going to pay, I'll tell you right now. So the girl comes back. They're at the house, they're partying, they put music on. The two other guys go to fuck. You know, they've been drinking all night. And the girl's like, oh, okay, let's go fuck.
So they brought...
And he's like, listen, I told you already. There's no way I'm paying. And she was like...
That's how I am with
She was like, I didn't say you had to pay, let's just fuck. And he just fucked her.
Yeah.
So basically all he did was just be super cocky the whole time. You have to do that with strippers or whores. Or...
Well, another great way to, I think another great way with a stripper is to go there with a couple guys from work that want to go to a strip club. Guy, make some friends that like strip clubs.
Yeah, exactly.
And you go there with them. And then when the chicks, the strippers are hitting on you, whatever, you're like, oh no, I'm just here with my buddies, man. I don't do this myself. I don't pay for a woman to get me horny. That's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm here with my buddies and they're paying and shit like that.
Yeah.
Say I'm bringing you guys business, so you guys are happy and this, that, and the other. You know. And then you could just talk to her and say, you can come hang out with me when you're not, you know, dancing all over some guy's lap or whatever. I'll be here, whatever. We can chat. And from there, you can kind of, because now you're not a customer. You're not needing to pay for sex. So you got that kind of higher value in her mind.
What's the beer?
From there on out, I already got one. From there on out, you can do a little bit of your cocky shit and kind of talking to her about, you know what, those. Oh, dude, I had a good one the other
And
day.
they like a challenge too, man. The strippers, that's all they're doing there is they're trying to get you. So even if you tell them you're not going to pay, it's like they're going to try.
And there's a new thing that I'm trying to do now, a new technique I'm trying to make myself aware of all the time. Anytime you look at a chick, look at her clothing and her jewelry, and try to find something that you could just kind of make fun of a little bit. I was at the Hard Rock Hotel. I was at Hard Rock Hotel. Well, see, one of the things in my theory is if you can make yourself laugh, you're on the right track.
Yeah, that's true.
My theory is make yourself feel good, and you're going to draw women. That's my theory. So, check this out.
That's what it's all
I'm
about.
at the fucking Hard Rock Hotel. This chick's sitting over here talking to this dude, right? And I'm like looking at her, checking out her clothes, whatever. And I see these shoes. And these shoes got this silver thing across here, three in a row. These shoes, this silver like little band going across, whatever. Looked like braces to me. So I just made something up. I didn't really give a fuck if it was funny or not, but it was funny to me. So I go, hey, I said, did your shoes used to have bad teeth? She goes, what? So did your shoes used to have bad teeth? Why? Well, because you have braces on them right now. Look at them.
That's cool.
So it was like stupid, but it made me laugh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like one thing you should do, like when you're walking through a room, just check chicks out and look for something on them that you can make fun of, make yourself laugh, and then say it to them in a funny way, let's laugh.
That's absolutely crazy. Like another example, I was in Colombia recently and I saw this chick and she was hot, and she had this like shirt with black stripes like this, and I just went up there and I was like,
Zebra.
I was like, hey, I used to have that same shirt. And she was like, oh yeah, really? And I was like, yeah, when I was in prison. And she couldn't stop laughing, man. Like,
or you do this, you walk by her, whoa! She goes, what? Oh man, they just reminded me of the prison bars.
I think Adam's here. I'm just trying to figure out which one this was, but this.
Yeah, you almost got to treat him like a little sister or something.
a really good neck.
Or
that I
just
got-
like a little eight-year-old girl that you used to play with when you were 8 years
a
old.
really good neck that I got from
You
a
know what I
book
mean?
in
Just have
Spanish.
fun with it.
You can basically do this with any girl, with anything. You can just go up to her and be like, hey, you said, my girlfriend has that same dress or shirt or whatever.
Right.
And then you're like,
He's out there for guys who
yeah,
are
really? I was
full
like,
charge
yeah.
per game.
I thought she was the only one with bad taste.
Learning how to put at a
Man,
down
that's
low.
like great because like one, you're disqualifying yourself because you're saying.
But you have to smile after you say it.
Oh well, it's pretty obvious. It's
Yeah.
pretty obvious. But yeah, smiling obviously helps.
Yeah.
But you disqualify yourself because you say you have a girlfriend, which you can then say it's not true, whatever. Girls
Right.
don't care. Or
Down
and
low.
you're negging her, so you're like
Free special
automatically
support.
telling her she has bad taste. It's really cool. I haven't really tried it, but it's a good one to use whenever.
So I wrote down 6 concepts that I believe if we put into the way we deal with women when we're out in the world would be really powerful. Let me share these 6 concepts with you.
All right.
6 things to do with women, okay? One thing is to tell the woman something about herself. And that would be something to do with cold reading.
Like it has a name?
No, that would be something to do with cold reading. You know what cold reading is? It's like the psychic stuff.
It's like psychoanalyzing somebody.
Absolutely, yeah. Women dig that. And there's routines like strawberry fields.
Yeah, I've never used that in the oven, but yeah.
Yeah, there's strawberry fields, there's the cube, but I'm just saying we could just, we could make up shit, whatever. You could notice something, I don't know how intuitive we are, but if you could tell a girl something about herself, what I'll do sometimes, I'll look at a girl's jewelry and I'll say, wow, that tells me something about you. Because it's not real shiny, it's more earthy, then you say, well, you're kind of an earthy girl, you're not really into a lot of flash and
That's an easy
pizzazz.
one. That's an easy one.
So what I'm saying
that's
is,
a good one.
just number one, just tell her some things about herself. How much more fascinating is it? I could be the other dude that says, "Oh, so tell me something about yourself." But what if you looked at a girl and said, "You know what?
Tell her.
You know what?
You're
Let me just
framing
tell you absolutely."
Yeah.
And now you're also having a leader look to you. Let me tell you something about the way you just walked through this room just now. It's like you just walked through this room and your energy was totally in front of you. And I don't know if you noticed, but as you're walking, people are moving out of your way. You're like this ship kind of moving through the water, and everything gets out of your way. Did you notice that about yourself? And then you just
That's pretty cool.
You know what I'm saying? So my point is, look at it. Look at everything on a girl, maybe her shoes, her dress, and the way she holds herself, and figure something out about her, and then tell her something. You're the psychic.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I want to plant in my
And
mind.
that's gotta be something
to
that
do.
you can develop, because so much
Yeah.
of communication is not verbal.
But you know what? A lot
so
of
you
it.
can just learn to read. And listen to
Absolutely.
it, yeah.
And a lot of it is just kind of a common sense thing, really. I mean, can't you tell Can't you tell by looking at 2 girls? Can't you tell which one's kind of the leader and more confident? Which one's the more quiet? You know what I mean?
You're getting tons of information every time you step outside the front door.
Common sense is not very common, my friend.
But I see what you're saying. You're getting constant influx of information that you can use. Colors what they chose to wear that night, how they did their hair, what type of makeup, anything and everything.
So what I want to do is what I'm trying to develop in myself is to be someone that really notices things about the women. Because by noticing things about the women, there's two of my things that I can apply. Because the one thing that I want to apply, by noticing the way she carries herself, this and that, is to be the psychic who reads her a little bit. The second thing is by noticing everything about her, is finding something that I can laugh about, make fun of. So one thing is you're reading her and showing, because that's showing the depth side of yourself. The other one is showing the cocky side of yourself.
And they both show that you pay attention to detail, which women
Yeah.
subconsciously.
And they're both showing value. One, because if we do all of one, we become kind of boring. If we become always cocky, but so when I look at a girl, there's two things I want to come up with: is how can I tell her something about herself, and how can I find something to kind of make myself laugh and make fun of her with her about it. You know? So those are two of the things that I got. Shock, scare, I wrote down, because women, if you could like make a woman kind of jump, you know. So I was thinking, if I could make a woman like shock a woman or scare her, because they say a woman who's scared, actually their sexual juices kind of flow in the
You know what I was thinking about how to do that? Is to be like, hey, no, we're on camera. And you're like, no, really, we are right over there. You know, and see.
That's
what
actually
kind
a
of-
cool
you
thing
do
to
that,
just
you know?
use in the
Okay, wait, how about this one?
That is
How about
a
this
cool
one?
gambit.
How about this one? Hold on, be still.
I was
Sorry about that. There was a bee. There was a
That
bee
would
on your
freak a girl.
shoulder.
That would freak a girl.
There was a bee on your shoulder.
That freaked me out.
Just make a woman, because if you take a woman into a shock moment, she can't forget that moment. And you saw the one I did.
Or give them a social.
And you remember the one I did a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
To the girl that was sitting up on
Or
the
like you got something right here.
No, it's the girl that, his girlfriend that was sitting up here with the meeting where he was teaching us about the mystery method. They were talking about shock, so I go up to her, I said, oh yeah, you ever heard of dog jaw?
Oh yeah.
I said,
Oh, that's right.
that is a badass shock one right there, dude. Remember that one, dog jaw.
Nice, dude.
That's what you said. I remember. I just saw you do that.
That is a badass shock one. You can use that with anybody.
All right. I want to hear the next one. I want to hear the other one.
Okay, I got
Adam,
two more, I think.
what's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, there he is. What's up, player?
Chilling.
Yeah.
Hell you.
Hungry.
I have food in my bag.
So what's number 4?
So number 4 is keep sexual thoughts in her mind. So keep sexual thoughts in her mind. Plant sexual thoughts in her mind. Let's not let her not think about sex.
Pleasurable things.
No, just like you know, my
Actually, I wish you did one.
Checking
What
out
I
my
decided
ass.
is the days that I
You
cannot
know,
afford not
flirt
to
with
drink,
her, but
I'm gonna not drink.
but just always along this
I
process,
drank last night. Went out.
plant some sexual thought. Keep
Figure it
her
out.
kind of thinking
I
about
gotta work
sex.
until
You know? Like I saw this one guy in a video.
Okay.
He's
yeah.
he's like, oh, nice to meet you. He's like, oh, I'm not.
What,
Tell a lot
Sunday,
about
we're
a
thinking
girl's
about doing
handshake.
some
And this is one of the reading
volleyball
things.
barbecue.
This is one of the reading things. About
Sunday?
well, you can tell a lot about a girl's handshake.
Possible.
You know, you're the kind
I
of girl
was
that's in the
telling,
world, blah, 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 blah.
my
So now he's getting
watch.
keynote. He
Let's
gets
go
keep
walk.
holding her hand while he's talking
Let's
to
go
her.
walk.
And then he's like, so, oh, you were so whatever. You like accepted what I had to say to you so well. This deserves a hug.
Oh,
Gives her a hug, right?
yeah.
Then he's like this. Then he's like
This
this.
is good stuff.
Wait.
And it,
He's like, wait.
you mind if I grab water?
No, go for it. Go for it.
Thank you.
He's like, hey, what's that smell?
Sunday's the one day I'm trying to.
Oh, not your hair, right
a
here.
little bit. Let's see. Let's see what happens. It's also.
Wow, what is that? What is that smell? Does it have a certain perfume? She's like, blah, blah, blah. She goes, you know that different perfumes smell different on different people. But this one right here smells really good. And he smells right here. He goes, well, like, smell me. So now he has her coming over smelling him.
People I meet.
You know. So then we're kind of going back and forth. And then he kind of plays a joke. He goes, well, now, last time I was sitting right here, you know, I gave a girl a kiss on the neck like this. And then he kisses her. And he goes, but I'm not going to do that with you. So it's like, you know, plant some sexual thoughts, get her thinking sexually a little bit.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah. And one of the good ones is, like, just when you're talking to her, you know, just say, or like when you're standing up and you're like about to walk away, just looking at my ass, weren't you? I don't blame you. Go ahead, give it a rub.
I'm so gonna use that.
So yeah, just keep sexual thoughts in her mind.
Very true.
Now the other thing that I wrote down is create a fantasy world. Create a fantasy world. It's like when we go out, let's just create a fantasy world. And I
like role playing.
totally. And I actually did this with a girl at O'Shea's next to Imperial Palace 2 weeks ago. There was this one pickup artist-ish guy who's got his own way of playing game, and those two were. He was talking to two girls, and I saw him over there, and I walked up and I said, hey, I don't mean to interrupt you guys, but I have to do a magic trick for some kids tomorrow night. I want you to see if I do a good job on this. So I do the magic trick for the girl, and then we just start talking for a little bit. And then the girl, the prettier one, because the other one, there's no way I could have jumped on that particular grenade. She wasn't white. She had this tooth this long right here. And so I started just pretend like we've been married for 10 years. I go, honey, we've been married for 10 years now. And, you finally bring me out to Vegas, and I'm actually having a good time. This is great, And then her friend over here, because I'm actually talking a little bit, quite a bit, she goes, you know what, you're talking too much. And I pulled out the humble card a little bit. I said, you know what? My friends just told me that the other day that I do talk too much. Thank you. I'm going to slow down a little bit. Give me a hug. So I hugged her. And then I just keep teasing this one about, and I said, now I know why you've been her friend for so long, and you've helped our marriage to stay together so well. And then I said, honey, isn't she great? Come here, give me this one. And I gave her a little bit. She just went right in for it because she's playing the fantasy a lot. And from there on, we're both making out with, I'm making out with this girl. Now, mind you, my story from last night and that story are not overly common with me. No. I have a lot of bad nights where nothing happens. You know what I'm saying?
Right now,
but I'm saying, so we ended up taking those two girls to my place, which, I don't know if I want to do that in the future because that guy has some dirty ass socks and made my couch smell bad for the next 2 days. But anyway, so role play, man. Create a fantasy world.
That's a good one.
And bring people into that fantasy world. You know what I'm saying?
Can you either post these on there or just send them to my email?
Yeah.
Because I like to try to have that in the back of my mind on the back burner as I'm out in the field.
Absolutely.
Kind of
Yeah.
thing.
You know what I'm noticing about all these things you're listing is that basically the theme is like they all involve a different emotion, right? And that's always good when you take a girl through a roller coaster of emotions. That's like the key to like get them attracted.
Absolutely.
So whether it's scared and then happy and then sad.
And because like if you can, because I remember one girl I talked to, a Blue Martini. I started off in high energy. And just kind of busting on her a little bit. She's busting back on me, and then she asked me, "What do I do?" And I come up with a standard line for when someone asks me what I do. I say I'm a hug instructor, a dance instructor, and a kissing coach. And I'm actually going to bring that down to a hug instructor and a psychic or something like that. I think because that way I can do my psychic type of stuff, and then I can do the hug instructor. Well, I might add a magician also. But the thing about the hug instructor, I like doing that is I go, well, people today, they really don't know how to, they don't like touching one another. People are afraid of each other, and people really don't know how to hug. I said, as a matter of fact, I'm trying to push a bill through Congress right now that outlaws a certain kind of hug. I said, do you know what kind of hug that is? Awesome. She goes, is it the patting hug? I said, how did you know? That's it. It's the patting hug. Because you know what? If you want to hug somebody and you're going to go like this to them, just don't even hug them.
Exactly.
Just don't even hug them. And now, by having this story, I now have the opportunity to say, well, are you a good hugger?
Yeah,
come on.
Exactly. Keno, boom.
And so I ended up, before I left, this is when you place next door, I think, and I followed you later after a few minutes. And before I left, I'm like hugging her. I said, "This is the rock I'm hug here." I was just rocking with her, just holding her like that. So
I love that.
When was all this?
this, what I just now told you about, was at Blue Martini. The week that we all went out, and then you guys headed next door, or where'd you guys go? Yard House or something?
Oh, Cadillac Ranch.
Yeah, and then I followed you guys.
I had to go eat because Blue Martini had no tables.
So now do you guys want to hear about all my failures, which there's like
Nope.
5
Well,
times
I
more?
thought it was 6 things that we've only covered
Yeah,
4.
Actually, the last one was just was brought up in the other one. Just figure out reasons to touch her.
And 5 was what?
Let me read through the
What
whole
do you got?
list.
Honesty?
Let me read
Tell
through
her
the whole
something
list.
about herself.
Let me do the whole list. So here's what I wrote down, and I just want to, and I even made me an affirmation that goes through these, but I need to change my affirmation to really like separate these things out and kind of put them into categories. Okay, number 1, tell her things about herself. Tell her things about herself. Because normally a guy says, well, tell me something about yourself.
Right.
Why not instead we pay attention, observe her, and tell her something about herself?
That's total shit, James Bond.
Okay.
I had a baller one today, man. I was in this orientation, and we were doing this thing. It wasn't a puzzle, but it was like, there were different pieces, things that went together. This girl is so flaky, so out there, and like, she's smart, but she's like,
It's probably a real
floating.
creative type, you think?
I don't know.
Yeah.
She's really
Her
hot.
brain's just
She's
everywhere.
really hot, and she doesn't have to use her brain, right?
Oh,
So we start doing this puzzle, and she's super into it. And I look at her and I go, and again, it wasn't a puzzle, right? I look at her and I go, you love puzzles, don't you? And she lit up.
Yeah.
Like her whole face was like, how did you know that?
Yeah.
And I didn't say because we're doing a puzzle.
You dumb bitch.
Right? And she was like, and this is a girl that I've been negging
You're
for
like
the
a
last
psychic.
3
Oh my
days.
god, how did you know this?
Dude, you're like a psychic.
So no, that one is so, and we forget it so much.
That's why I'm trying to
I never
create
do that.
a list of powerful things to go out, attitudes to go out with. Okay, so number 1 was tell her something about herself. Number 2, find something about her to make myself laugh. In other words, make fun of something about her.
Is this is an original thing of yours?
Yeah, these are just 5. I wrote down 6 concepts that I feel are very powerful. If I could, I'm going to create an affirmation, I think, for myself
Okay.
that will help me to really think about this when I'm out and about. Like one way I'm putting these 2 together: tell her something about herself, and make fun of something about her. One of the ways that I'm thinking that I'm gonna teach myself to remember this is because both of these, tell her something about herself and find something to tease her about. Both of those have to do with paying attention to the people around you. Awareness.
Yeah.
And my awareness has been increasing since I've been thinking about
And I
this.
need to work on that probably the most.
And what's wonderful about this also is when we start looking at women and looking at their clothing and looking for something to make fun of them about, and also looking at the way they carry themselves and something to read them about, because it's almost a psychic thing to them.
I'm gonna add one more thing in there about their last point.
Right.
Also really good is making an ambiguous comment about something about her. So you don't say, oh, those are ugly earrings, or that looks stupid. I went up to this girl last night and I go, those earrings are really big, right? And
So
of
it's like, is
course,
that a good thing? Is
Like
that good or
good or
bad?
bad,
and once you got a girl doing that,
Yeah.
I once read that the best place to do pickup is a place with a lot of mirrors. Because the more mirrors there are, the more self-conscious a girl feels.
Yeah.
Oh no shit. I like
Wow.
that.
Because it
That
generates
makes a lot of sense.
it generates that self-awareness, right?
Yeah.
So anytime you can get a girl self-reflecting,
Right.
is a really good state because she's essentially open and vulnerable.
Totally
right?
agree with that.
And then you
yeah.
can tell her what she should think.
Totally agree with that. Which is the same it's very close to
I
the
like that.
concept of making fun of something of her too.
But to do it in that indirect state,
Oh, I like the indirect.
it's
Yeah.
because then she's thinking like, what does that
Hey,
mean?
how about a girl with hoop earrings? You look at her and say, you know what? Your earrings are really round.
Yeah, she's like, what does that mean?
When Maz did that one, like she had 2 big ass earrings, and he's like, "Where's the other 3?" And she's like, "What?" He's like, "The rest of your hoops. I thought you just came from the Olympics." And she was like,
Where's your 3rd ring? I just.
And they weren't even hoop earrings; they were normal, but they were big. I was like, I don't know.
So those are my first 2. Tell her something about herself. Find something to tease her about, like clothing, jewelry, nose, smile, whatever. The next one I have is try to do something to throw a little shock or scare into her. Something to do a little shock or scare into her. Like I just gave an example. Were you here when I just did? I went like this. I was like, oh, stay still, stay still, stay still. Shh. Oh, okay, it's gone, it's gone. Because that causes a little scare thing.
Sure.
But I was telling the best one. Were you here the other night when I did that scare one?
I don't think so.
Well, I just have you ever heard of dog jaw? Look right here. Do that to a chick, scare the fuck out of her. But if you create, that scare thing inside of a girl, it stirs up some fucking. It opens up her, her energy, her flow, her pussy juices. Whatever you want to call it.
Danger.
So that's the third one. The fourth one I wrote down is make her think sexual thoughts. Make her think something about sex. And so one of the examples I got was, I'm walking by a chick and I look at her. You checking out my ass? Oh, well, I guess I don't blame you. It's kind of, you want to touch it?
Yeah.
Or just whatever you can do, just like to throw some sexual thoughts in there, just in a playful kind of way.
Sexual frame.
Like, actually, I have this question that I thought in the right situation I might ask in just a story type of way. Is, hey, who do you think enjoys sex more? Animals or people? Just a question.
That's like an ambiguous statement, too.
Yeah, just a question. Because it gets a conversation going where she has to think about sex a little bit. So yeah, just get her to think about some kind of sexual thought.
What do you think your sex more, men or women? What do you guys think about that question?
Say it again?
Who enjoys it more, men or women?
Yeah. How do you think women respond to that?
I
I want to try that.
I don't know.
Let's go try it tonight.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm just thinking. I don't know. I don't know.
That's a good question,
I wonder
actually.
what
You got me
response it would
thinking.
give.
You know, you can
If it's saying the right energy, I think you could always be okay with it.
you can shock them with a neg like that.
Good
You
point.
know, when I was a kid, I used to play soccer back in Pennsylvania, and I'll never. This is like the ultimate neg. This old timer with a hat, top hat and coat. I'm in my soccer uniform, getting ready for the game. And he's like, "Oh, you play soccer?" It's just a hard old coal miner. And I'm like, "Yeah, because it's your interest. It's what you're into." And he's, "Oh, I didn't know they had a girls' team." And I was like, "Fuck." I just got nagged hard right there.
A dude said that to you?
Yeah. He goes, "Oh, you play soccer?" I said, "Yeah." Because I'm thinking, "Oh, soccer." He goes, "Oh, I didn't know they had a girls' team." And I was like, and I was thinking, if you can use
That was a
same
shock. Good
principle or
Use a neg the right way.
towards a woman, like you kind of bring, oh, wow, like you said, like, oh, my girlfriend used to wear that dress, but she has bad taste. It's like, oh, wham! It's like a judo slam. Just if you can find like
Like I'm not thinking that.
the one I
So you're saying the shock value can simply be in a decently delivered neg, so to speak.
Yeah, like for example,
I mean, like the braces one, that's kind of
that's pretty good.
shocking a little bit.
Like in front of Starbucks, if I'm outside of Starbucks and bitches don't know how to park, women don't know how to park, and a lot of them have nice cars.
Sounds like the name of the book.
Or even if I'm beside them and they have their windows open, and I'm like, "Hey, how do you like that car?" Like, "Oh, yeah, I love it." It doesn't matter what it is. And I'm like, "Yeah, it'd be nice if you knew how to drive it."
Oh.
And then that's but I'm telling you, the reaction is like, "I want more." You're
If
thinking,
it's a hot chick.
yeah.
The least attractive a girl is, the less that works.
Or
Yeah,
else
Would you
it'll just
agree?
be like,
It's a hard neck, right?
Would you agree?
I have to be careful with the less attractive women because you don't want to really.
You don't want to
Oh,
neg
you
them.
heard
You don't need
that.
to neg them.
Yeah.
Right, their self-esteem is already.
Yeah.
Them, you just want to tell them something nice about them.
So you've got good responses from that? Huh.
Oh yeah, I'm like, what? Did one of the waitresses, I was at Memphis, and she's like, "Are you thinking about dessert or something?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I don't want any." And then all of a sudden, she started keno on me. Like, and the other thing I was to tell you is, for some reason, the most success I've had at strip clubs, bringing strippers home either that night or doing a number, is when I'm just in a fucking terrible mood. Because they're looking at me and I'm like, "What the fuck do you want?" But I'm
That's the mood I
sincerely
was
just,
in at the Palms
I'm
last night.
sincerely just
When
glad.
some hookers were trying to pick up.
And fucking strippers, like, they feel like it's their mission to fucking bring you out of the fucking darkness. And I'm just like, do you have nothing else to do but sit here so I can fucking smoke and drink in peace and you're bothering me? I'm like, no, it's, you know.
Did you say that?
Yeah! And they're like, oh, but I can't stand because
That's good.
my girlfriend.
Now, who is this? A stripper?
Yeah, my girlfriend is a dancer like that. She's got that whole charitable fucking thing. You know, she's like, if she sees someone down, she's like, oh, I feel so bad for him, he's walking, or whatever it is.
You said she's a stripper?
Yeah.
And she feels down for her clients?
She's got that, I'm not saying they all do, but she's got that mentality, like if you start talking, like let's say you use some openers or some IOIs or something, and then like you kind of, remember in Wedding Crashers, when they did that, oh, we lost a lot of good men kind of thing?
Yeah.
I really tight.
We lost a lot of, if you can do that, like, oh, my dog just died, I'm serious, my dog just died, fucking strippers, oh my god, I can't, give me a hug or whatever, and it's just like suck it up and straw.
Yeah. Have you ever pulled a stripper?
Absolutely.
You
I
have?
fucking sergeant alone. I've been sergeant alone at the strip scope for fucking 10 years, man.
How many strippers have you gotten? Because you're becoming my superhero. I've never gotten a stripper. My last girlfriend was a stripper, but only after we broke up.
Nothing epic, but I mean, because
We're still best friends.
I've been with a couple strippers out here.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never.
well, there's so many of them. You just have, it's just
Yeah, I
like-
also live in a complex.
I think
that's full of them.
Yeah, they all live in
whole
apartments.
meetings at your house.
None of them own houses. They all live in fucking. If you live in an apartment complex, you're surrounded.
I'm not really
Yeah, that's
surprised
true.
that you've had a stripper. You're a very good-looking guy. You're in great shape. I'm 45.
But it still takes a fucking lot of work.
But it's not about that.
Yeah, I agree. They meet guys who are better looking and more in shape.
Okay, well listen, I want to know some stories about how you guys pulled some strippers.
Like I said, I don't know, man. I didn't initially intend to do it. I was just like so
In a bad
depressed.
mood?
I wanted to
I
fucking
can tell you how I
myself.
did it. It's a couple $100.
Well, actually, last night I was at the Palms, and I sat down in this bar, and a couple hookers were next to me. They're cute girls, whatever. And they started talking to me, but I was in one of those moods. I was like, who gives a fuck? I was in that kind of a mood last night. And I was just gambling a bit, and these girls started talking to me, and the girl goes, what are you smoking? And I said, I think I have these cigarettes with me. Because it was kind of funny what I said to her.
The other one is
Speaking of which, we need to take 10.
I pulled
my girlfriend dumped me.
I pulled a James Bond on her, so to speak. I said, because I didn't think she'll ever heard of these cigarettes, Hamilton. I said, actually, well, everything that I have is coded. See, like, for instance, notice, when I hide the H and the M, you can see what the real name of the cigarettes are. They're Hilton cigarettes. But everything that I do and I carry, I have to keep coded. They're like, oh, really? So, do you stay at the Hilton, or what do you do? And so I just keep talking, and I'm like, but I'm talking, like, I don't give a fuck, and I'm like,
You know,
That's the best attitude.
it is. Yeah.
I don't think it matters what you say on the course.
It really doesn't.
You can say zebra chicken fart, and then
Matters how you carry yourself, right?
just enthusiasm and energy.
Every time I've got a stripper's
Or
number,
just-
I've been using like the same routine, and it's more like they'll come try to sit on my lap, and I'm just like, I'm just not in the headspace now, but sit on your kind of cute, I want to flirt with you for a minute. And they usually sit down, and then I kind of lean in, and they're like, so what are you doing tonight? And then I just completely like ignore their question, and I'm just like, oh, you know, my boy's out here, it's his, he just got in from Vegas, I'm just kind of showing him around. Blah, 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 you know. And then I start asking them, like, what do you got going for you other than your looks? Like, I saw you up on the pole. It's pretty good. Well, then they're like, going to school, like you were saying too. You know? Yeah. And they'll be like, I'm doing this or that. And then right there, then I'll give them like that appreciation. Like, so I know when she's qualifying herself, I'm assuming I'm in A3, so then I'll jump to comfort and start saying like, and I'll give her like the appreciation like from the.
So how much time do you spend in qualifying? In like,
as soon as she gives me like whatever she says I'm doing this, or she says I like doing this as my hobby, then I just make some shit up. Like especially if she says like rock climbing or something I can relate to. And usually they do like, oh, I like to do this, I like to go hiking, and then right there I do like this Mary Jane Falls opener,
oh yeah, you told me.
where I'm like, I'll say like, oh, what? Oh, have you ever been to like Mary Jane Falls? And I'm like, yes. If they say yes, then it's like, oh, hell yeah, you know about that. Nobody knows about that. Then it's like,
That's cool.
And she says no, then I go into the, okay, it's like the coolest hike. We go up the city,
I've
like,
actually been on that
2
hike,
miles,
so I know what you're
so
talking
going back and forth. But it was a crazy story. Like, I was up there with my buddy, that's Matt over there. Like, anyway, we were with a friend of ours, Sarah, dude. She's like trying to be a go-go dancer, but she's like, I don't know, she's such a dork, right? She's trying to do her little move for us on the rock, and we've all been drinking wine. She slips and I sprained her ankle, so we had to both of us had to carry her down the hill. I'm like, dude, Matt, we gotta get her to the hospital. She sprained her ankle, so. Like, anyway, I go off from this story, and basically I spiked leader of men, pre-selected, protector of loved ones. Like
Not
right
only
there.
that, she's a go-go dancer trying to dance for you,
Yeah,
which
high
means
caliber.
you hang out with hot chicks.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was my little spike the thing.
I can try that story. I like it.
And then usually like get into that thing, and then I was like, we're actually going out next weekend if you want to go. I mean, well, if you're not, you're probably working here, but we go out all the time. It's all good.
You
So
should
I'm
say
kinda
if you
like,
promise not to sprain your ankle, because I ain't giving you a piggyback.
well, that would be good.
I like that.
So kind of give her the invite, but then I roll off, and usually it's like, yeah, that's pretty cool, and I could be like, either that or I'll say, well, you know, you seem pretty cool. I know you got to get back to work, and I should be paying attention to my friend, but we're actually having a barbecue next week. You should roll. I mean, we might need a wild card. And then she's like, that's fine. And then I'm just like, are you on Facebook? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, I send you a friend request. Will you add me? Like, yeah, of course. Pinky swear. Alright. Kiss it. Blow it up.
Oh, I like that. I like that you said, if you add me on Facebook, will you add me? But then, I like how you kept on, because sometimes when a guy asks that final question, that closing question, it's like, will you add me? And then they stop. And they're like waiting to be accepted. But you said, will you add me? And then you go, pinky swear, and you just kept being creative.
That's the same way I do the direct ones too.
And women love just flowing creativity. If they see a man get stopped at a certain point, then it's just, I think it's so.
And then when you ask them, like when you say like, what's your name? What's your last name? And sometimes they might just be like, you know, in strippers too, they'll say like, my name's Destiny. You're like, your real name, come on, not your dancer name.
Yeah,
And then they'll be like, oh, my real name's
Caesar.
Summer.
Yeah, when they
Oh
say
my
some
God,
shit
my
like
booty call.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, oh, okay, it's Summer Curtis or whatever, and you get their last name, and they're like, what's your number? And after that, you just usually like, well, I am them later or something. Or sometimes, like, there was this one stripper that I had a number, and she was in there hitting me back, like, when's that? It's Tuesday. What time's your barbecue at? And I was like, fuck, I'm not having some barbecue. And then she ended up deleting me because like 3 weeks went by, and I kept saying the same thing. I was like, oh, I sent out a message. I thought you would have got it. We're all chilling. We're gonna have another one next week. And the next week comes along. She's like, hey, what's up? And I was like, oh, I'm not having a damn barbecue.
Why did you just say we can? Whatever.
Yeah.
I was talking to another girl,
Oh,
so
I'm
she was
still
kind of second on the list. So I just was blowing off, and finally I went on, and I was gonna just say if she wanted to go fucking meet up.
Dude, chicks are fucking crazy.
Then she deleted my ass. So.
This chick's trying to decide if she still wants to be my booty call because I yelled at her the other day. Just
Tell her you can smell something burning.
But check this out. No, listen, you gotta hear this. This is like crazy. Alright. So she says, there's a lot more before this, but she says, oh, I'm still going to take some time away, so have fun this summer. Right? Which means what? That means we're not going to have sex.
Right.
For old,
She's keeping you on notice.
Right? Okay.
Fuck that.
Next, hold on. Hold on.
I was busy.
No,
anyway,
hold on.
bitch.
You're gonna love this. You're gonna love this. 5 minutes later, can we have sex tonight?
Wow. I've never seen a woman that direct.
Oh, I'm still going to take some time away, so have fun this summer.
Because you didn't.
We were discussing not being.
Because you didn't react. So she's like, I'm going to put it out there, and you're like,
What was your reply to that?
you didn't
I'm
reply.
gonna read. Oh, to which I haven't replied to any. She's got 4 messages.
That's why she said
Nice.
that. Because you did not.
I'm gonna reply to her right now and just tell her how her voice.
August, I want to hear your thoughts on last night.
Todd,
The whole night.
Did you guys hang out last night? What
Yeah.
happened? Awesome.
we went to that speed dating thing.
We killed it
Mini
last
dates.
night. I felt like
Was there any hot
that was
chicks
awesome.
in there? Or no?
No, but we found some other ones.
Two. You mean at the pub?
At the speed dating.
You didn't happen to talk to like anyone named Kimberly over there, did you? Like who works at the Cup?
No.
She was like kind of cute girl. Last time, like when we were leaving, I think you were.
You did see a cute girl over there.
She gave me like 3 coupons for like 10% off coffee next time.
Blonde or dyed blonde?
I don't know what color her hair was. She was cute. She actually worked at the cup.
God, we're on a trip. Can you believe what I just
The wide
read?
open for us because we know the owner. So anytime you want to schedule a meeting or something, you got it.
Yeah, I've never made it.
That would be good, and then we could just start City Center. We'll already be there.
That's what we did last time.
I've never been the one to do this, but I kind of feel like I haven't really met you three, so like, can I just get like a quick introduction? Like,
Yeah.
what's your name? What do you do?
Oh, yeah, this is Nick. He's one of the.
I just moved back to Vegas yesterday, and I got an
Nice.
apartment today
Okay.
near the strip. So hopefully.
Okay, who's one of the organizers? One of the organizers of,
I was gone.
Meetup?
I was gone for 2 months.
Yeah.
okay.
Motherfuckers in the world.
So you're August? Okay. And you work? You're a musician? Nothing. Right. Unemployed right now.
I'll tell you what, I don't have a boss. It's
Oh.
the best thing ever.
Okay. I neither do I. So I feel you on that.
No, I freelance write.
Oh, great. That's
my
cool,
biggest
man.
thing right
Dude, you're such a, what's the guy that wrote the game?
now. Neil
You're
Strauss.
such a
That's what I
Strauss.
told him. He looks like Neil Strauss. I told him as soon as he showed up. And you're Ryan?
CJ.
Yeah, I'm Ryan, and he's CJ.
Oh, so this is backwards. You're Ryan. Oh,
Adam.
Ryan, no. I know you're Ryan, but I thought there was another Ryan coming.
No, it's Adam.
No, I'm Orion.
You're
Like
Orion.
Orion's belt? No, I'm CJ, bro.
CJ and Adam.
Sergio.
You bartend at Paris?
I'm a bartender in Paris, yeah.
So you've never... You must have fucked a lot of your customers.
No, like I might, well, I don't get a lot of opportunities there. I get a lot of couples showing up, or fat chicks.
Is that
So
nature
once
of the
every-
bar before you work?
Once every 6 months, I'll pull a chick from there and fuck her.
Really? Or
Paris is
something.
not the land of.
But we have a new club that's going to open up in a couple months.
Oh, yeah?
And that may bring people down to my bar.
Pre-game and...
But I've been there since Paris opened, so I'm as old as the walls and the facades.
You do the night shift?
I do swing shift work, usually till about 2 a.m. On average, about 2 a.m. And I'm off on
You don't look
weekends.
like that old, so...
Thank you.
Shit, man.
Thank you. What do you do, by the way?
I play poker for a living.
You fucking are my hero. I love Texas Hold'em poker.
Yeah.
You play Texas Hold'em?
Yeah.
I have a beautiful poker table at my place if you guys ever want to get a game going.
Oh, that'd be cool, man.
Yeah.
You play poker for a living. How's that working?
I want to do that. My friend does too. I got another
I
buddy who
believe,
does.
right?
I went to college. I graduated 2 years ago, and I haven't had any other job.
Yeah, well, what are you saying? You went to college to be
To waste my...
to master Texas Hold'em poker?
No, I'm just saying, like...
You have a master's in
right.
Texas
I
Hold'em?
know, I got an engineering degree, and I decided
I have a buddy-
I was making more money and happier playing poker.
So-
and
Can I just?
I play online mainly. I'm...
It's amazing. This community is all about people who actually pursue what they want to do in life, which is something I love. You
I
know,
do
so
too.
many
You
people
see a lot
out
of
there.
that.
Yeah.
And a lot of crazy people too.
Let me ask you a question. What? I don't mean to change the subject, but what would you
But I was
say
also
is like
point. I've been
like-
rolling, man. So-
what little methods do you use to pick the best tables to play? What makes you leave a table, not want to be at a table?
I could talk about this all day.
Just a couple little points. Just
I mean, if
a
I go
couple little
Online?
power
or live?
points.
Are you talking about online or live? I
How
mean,
about
it's
live? How
essentially...
about live? How about live? Because let me tell you what I do live, and you tell me what you think. Because I am not a professional.
Live, all the players suck. So if you don't think all the players suck, you need to go pick up a few books and just learn. Because...
What do you mean at the table? All the players suck?
Yeah, if you play like this low...
There's some places
Why?
professionals.
I mean,
Why do you say
there
that?
may be like...
Still
If
money.
you play like the 1-2 games, is that what you mean?
I like to do cash.
Yeah, cash games, like
No limit.
the blinds are $1 and $2.
Yeah.
Those games, like 9 out of 10 players on average are gonna be terrible. So like, it's like, you know, did you ever see the movie Rock?
What I do is
That movie has a quote that to this day is very true.
Tell me what you think
It
of my
says,
concept.
If you can't spot the sucker at the table, you are the sucker.
Huh.
So like, if you don't think the people are playing poorly, it's because you need to work on your own game.
Here's my concept. When I go to a table, I first walk around the table and see how many drinks are in the drink holder.
Well, obviously, if you're going to Friday night and
The
everybody's
more
drunk,
drinks,
that's great.
the happier I feel.
Exactly.
Number 2, do I have a couple guys being really loud?
Yeah.
If I have a couple guys being really loud, I feel really good about
Yeah.
playing at that
Those
table.
are good indications.
Number 3, I look for who is the pro here. Because I know there's one motherfucker here
And just-
stealing money from everyone.
and just-
He's usually the quiet guy, this laying back and not into conversation, older usually, not always.
Yeah.
He's usually the quiet guy, laying back, got a little stack of chips, and that's the one sucking all the money. So when he bets,
Just get
I
out
stay out of the
there.
game.
Exactly. That's very smart.
And when the loudmouths bet, I'll play with them.
Those are good guidelines.
I love Texas Hold'em.
I don't really play live much though. I mean, I play
Play.
99%.
You're too impatient, that's all.
on the internet. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially after playing.
Actually, my buddy does the same exact thing. He does it for a living.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's got a caveman beard. He does it for a living. And he's, I guess he's doing well with it because he's doing it for a living.
But like those 1-2 games,
So if you want to meet him, I don't know.
those $1 and $2 games, it's basically impossible to make a living from those because
Okay.
the stakes are too low and the house rake is too big. So
Okay.
you just.
Now, I don't even know. I never paid attention. What is the house rate? We'll get off the subject. in
I
two
don't really
seconds.
know the exact percentage, but basically they have.
But how do they get it? They take it out of the pot?
They take it out of the pot. They'll drop it. They have a drop box.
Oh, because I've never noticed them taking anything out
because
of
you
the
can't even see it. Or some casinos they don't do that, but every like 1 hour they charge time and everybody pays $7.
I see.
But here in Vegas it's mainly boxes. You just drop the
Okay.
rake out of every pot. When the pot reaches $50, they take $5 out.
I got you,
And they
okay.
put it in.
We'll stop touching.
So you're a student.
No,
Oh, what orientation were you at?
for a new job.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm a chef.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's my thing.
That's
So
awesome.
to
man.
support myself, I'm starting my own business, my personal chefing
Cool,
business.
man. I was thinking about just going to what's it called? The school of
Cordon bleu?
no, just in general. What do you call like
Culinary school.
culinary school?
I just graduated from
I was thinking about
culinary
going.
school.
I just like cooking. I've just realized this about myself. Like this year, I was like,
I need to learn how to
cooking
do
is fun, and you can impress chicks if you have a chick.
yeah.
Every date I have in my apartment.
Exactly, that's a great thing, man.
Hey guys, you guys got to teach some of us how to cook like some simple things sometime.
But-
We'll have a cooking night.
Just in terms of my dates,
I'm down.
Let's have a cooking night.
there's very few things that are more powerful.
Just
in
like
this
for simple cooking.
community and this type of mentality, than
Cooking
just
for
being
dummies.
able to tell a girl what to do and having her having no ability to like it doesn't even matter what it is, just like pick that up. You know? And like once you like cut this, I'm gonna show you how to cut.
That's great because that's exactly that goes along with what I was telling you today. You were worried about like going to a place where the girl didn't like. I was like, dude, fuck that. You should never accommodate two girls.
Yeah.
You make them do whatever you want, and they're gonna be attracted to that, right?
Well, yeah, that's what.
And that's perfect for that because you're like giving her instruction, and then she has to follow you, right?
And that's exactly what I did with the virgin. I said, suck this, suck this. Okay, you're doing good.
I already like designate them as my sous chef right off the bat.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's a great thing.
I shouldn't drink another
And
beer.
then I
but-
have routines that go with every date. I have prosecco, which is sparkling Italian wine, and it's also real stuff because it's not just like I'm not just telling them that like anything else, right? It's genuine. Prosecco, I break it out. I tell them about prosecco.
Is it sweet?
I say, it's like champagne. You don't really. It's like there's terms, so it's like dry to brut, right?
Mhm.
So you don't really.
Brut is super dry, right?
Brut, extra brut is really dry. No. Yeah, in champagne.
Brut is
it's
dry.
backwards.
I know that.
Yo, is there like a crash course in Vegas that you can do like 6 weeks or something? Learn the
I mean,
basics?
honestly, part of what I'm looking to do
Is
is
to
teach.
start a school?
No, it's just teach. I want to do chef services.
Okay.
So if somebody wants a small catering event, somebody wants a demo, somebody wants classes. So honestly, like we can work something out.
That's
Yeah.
cool, man.
We can figure something out.
What'd you say you do again?
Play poker.
But there's so many things.
Dude, we
that
can
go-
totally throw a
My
party
mind
here.
shoots
We got
all
this guy
different
for the sound,
directions.
we got a chef, we got a bartender, we got a writer to write a report afterwards. No, but we have all the party people here.
Cooking's not that difficult. If
It's
you
not.
What kind of writing do you do?
science fiction, fantasy, mostly.
Cool. Have you written a book?
You can totally
How do
talk
you do
that
that?
up, and when you must use that.
Are you a ghostwriter or regular writer?
No, I'm regular.
So you're published under your own name?
It depends. The book hasn't come out. I have short stories published online
So cool.
and some poetry. Oddly enough.
I got some poetry myself. I had a poetry website for 10 years.
Wow.
And it got knocked out by the server that I was keeping it on. I never put it back up, but I need to because I got a lot. I got 1,000 poems on there.
I'll tell you
People
what.
around the world, not me, but people around the world.
Once you break through that good shield and you get that comfort zone, poetry.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
You think chicks really dig the
My
poetry?
buddy's a writer. He was a cop.
Anything that girl makes a go.
Yeah. He
Malcolm
wrote
and
about.
that, for sure.
You know what? I'd like to say something about that when you're finished.
Anyway, he has a couple books out, and he wrote one about being a cop here in Vegas. And he was telling me, because he went to the MFA program at UNLV, he was telling me, you ought to try to publish some of your poetry. And I'm thinking, that's ridiculous, man. I'm like, no one wants to read my fucking weeping heart bullshit.
So is a lot of yours like love poetry? Because most of mine is from when I wrote it back in the day.
It depends on what kind, because there's all different flavors of poetry. So it depends on what kind of poetry it is. But yeah, a lot of it, it's because I use it for lyrics, like when I was in band with my editing. We used a lot of that for lyrics.
That's all lyrics are, right?
Yeah, which is like, I love you, you love me, but it's not working out.
Right.
You know, whatever.
I've got some poems.
You know, the thing about it is like, that shit is like, that's like a grappling hook, like, shoot it in, goes through their back, and it's like,
But here's what I think.
Batman.
Here's what I think about that. I think that poetry can work well if you've already established that you're a full man.
After you've gotten through those windshield.
If you've already established that you're a full man, then I think poetry, to show the sensitive side, can be powerful.
Anything like that. Anything
But-
that makes you seem
But
more.
if you're already a pussy,
Yeah,
if you're already
clearly.
getting the impression to the girl that you're a pussy, and then you saw her poem, I don't think it
But
impresses her at all.
I think it's really good to, for everyone
You know what I'm
to
saying?
have like 3 or 4 of those things in their arsenal that make the girl melt towards you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It depends on her emotional state, where she's at.
I agree with you too because I met this.
It's a fine line. I mean,
Yeah, you have to feel out the situation.
Well, I met a girl at my apartment complex, and I was in her room. This is before I was learning anything. Today, I would have done something different than I did then. But this is like 5 years ago or something like that. I was up in her house, and I was reading a couple poems to her that I had written, and they're pretty good, I think. And a few days later, she goes, you know, if you would have kissed me or made a move on me when you read that poem to me, you would have had me.
It depends on their emotional state.
Yeah.
That's all it is. But I wouldn't like do it for an opener like,
Oh, no.
sky's blue, just like your eyes are gorgeous, you know. Well, my opener's like, hey.
That would be in the comfort phase. A
Yeah.
poem would
did you
be-
say you need a 10?
Yes.
Actually, I think a poem would be best put right between the last comfort
Not
to
really.
the seduction phase, because a good poem can wet some pussy a little bit.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Especially because it also plays up on that, like John Long DeMarco, that sort of, oh, that was so wonderful kind of thing, you know, like you're a true lover,
And it
you're
shows-
romantic, you know.
and if your
like
poems-
the rebel, when she meets you, and then you're like a sensitive guy.
Yeah,
So
after
now
you
you
let
got
down
the
your
mix.
bitch shield, yeah, exactly. Then they're like, oh.
And what I love about that, what you just said, you said the rebel and then the sensitive guy. What I love about that is the push-pull involved in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you said, take women different places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First, like, make them uncomfortable, and then comfort them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's kind of like why I said my first 2 things that I wrote down there was not necessarily in this order. I haven't really figured the order out. Was tell a woman something about herself. When you do that, you're making her feel good, and you're showing that you're kind of a creator, you're a leader type. And then the next thing I said was find something to laugh at her about. You know, your shoes look like they got braces on.
That's the principle.
You know, and that's what I like. I like that. I like that
Everything is
push,
based on that.
pull, stretch. You know what I mean? And I think that's powerful. With the lyrics.
Like that.
You push sometimes more than you pull, which is, I think, for most people, much harder than. Hey, of course, it depends on the situation, but
So that's been my problem.
The hotter the chick is, the
That
more
I push
pushing.
too much.
you push too much.
Yeah,
How so?
because I do the cocky, funny thing way too much, especially when I'm drinking.
And me too.
And
I get that.
I learned
I
that
do it
about
way
myself.
too much.
You don't already have the connection there.
I've learned that about
Yeah.
myself.
Well,
I've
I mean,
learned
I
about
do that as kind of like opener kind of stuff.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
Baz does that a lot. Like he'll keep throwing negative, even like when he's in comfort. Like to the point where they're already at the bar, they've moved, haven't
You're
drinking,
just being
he's
a
still
dickhead.
and then
Honestly,
blows her out.
And I'm not saying it's
I get
because Maz, I'm saying it for me. I think that looking back, it's probably like almost like an insecurity thing because
I agree.
it's ego protection.
It is.
Because at the end of the day, you
Mine
don't,
is.
at the end of the day, you don't wanna show interest because you don't wanna get turned down.
Right.
So it's
I think
ego protection.
maybe like rephrase for me to rephrase it. I think maybe push more while you're still building the real stuff. You know, like I love the push away, the physical push. Get the fuck out of here. Oh my god, that's amazing.
That is powerful.
That is like the best. Like that's something that I.
That's
do
a physical
regular.
game.
Like there are a lot of things that I forget. Like FTCs. You know, I need to build those into my game because I just don't do.
What's an FTC?
Full time constraint.
When you say you gotta go,
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, that reminds me when we were at Republic and that one super fucking 10 was dancing. Remember she started dancing with you? I just thought, like, after the next day, I was thinking, you know, everyone was trying to dance with her, and I would have said, you know what? Give me a call when you learn how to dance. And that would have blown.
Which one was this?
She was wearing, like, next to nothing. And blonde, remember? Tan. And I remember you went up to her, like, she was with some fucking King Kong dude, and you just went up there, like, hey, what's going on? And she started dancing with you a little bit, and then she was the one that was just, like, dancing all by herself right out there. Like,
Okay.
she had, like, I think she had red, white, and blue stripes on hard body.
I don't remember.
But she came over by where we had the cabana or whatever,
Okay.
and I think you and Charles were dancing with her.
Okay.
And I was thinking,
Was
I'm
this
always,
something that you guys had put together?
well, no, it was
Just put together?
spontaneous. But I'm always reviewing. I'm always reviewing game in my head.
Yeah.
Like I'm rewinding
Yeah.
the movie, you know. And I was like, you know what? Fuck! I should have told her, hey, because everyone was like all. It was just like she was the flame, and we were all fucking lost. And I was thinking,
yeah.
when you learn how to dance, fucking give me a call, okay? Because I don't know what that is. And it would have just destroyed her game.
Or you could
Everybody
just
was-
say, or you could just say, you're walking by, you could just say, hey, if you want some dance lessons, let me know.
Yeah,
Over here.
exactly. Because that would have shaken her tree a little bit. Because she was just enjoying it way too fucking much.
They did that on like East VIP. The guy came up to the girl who was like in that same situation, and he's just like, I was like, you know, most people dance on beat, something like that.
Yeah.
Just like that. And she was like this, and
Yeah.
no, a lot of those
what?
go-go
And
dancers
he's
can't
like,
dance for
come here, I
shit.
need to talk to you for a second.
They're just hired because they're hot and they can't dance for shit. The go-go dancers, a lot of them.
I'd like to get back to what you said a minute ago, because I really agree with that. That's been kind of one of my problems, is I tend to keep entertaining. And this is something I'm kind of trying to pay attention to.
Which is not bad. I mean,
Well,
Well, you don't
but I
wanna be
agree with you that
Yeah,
the reason I do it is because a part of me is still seeking the approval. And so what I'm trying to change about myself, what I'm working on, is to really, and I'm a big believer in affirmations. I create a lot of my affirmations. You know what affirmations are, right?
yeah, like a belief that you say to yourself.
Yeah, you say to yourself and so forth. And I'm really trying to in my affirmations, I've been putting forth some concepts that if I am with a girl and if I just sit there, she's going to enjoy it. Because she's going to, because that's how valuable I am, and try to put those affirmations in there. And I mean, that's a little extreme, but sometimes you got to go extreme delusion to undo extreme opposite delusion, because they're both delusions, really. And one of the things I've been putting in my affirmation is, when I go out to have fun, and when I go out and I'm playful with women, I have fun, I always take a moment to come back into my true self, and to kind of breathe in and just be in my true self. Not the entertainer, not this, that, and the other. And then everything I do from that. And it's kind of teaching me that because I was the guy that would be more like entertaining, but I'm entertaining kind of from this place out here where I'm putting on a show. But I want to become more of the person who's entertaining from a more comfortable place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? From a more
Genuine.
comfortable,
Be
from a more genuine place. Where I'm teasing this, that, and the other, but I'm not doing it and looking for all this approval.
Yeah,
So that's
if you-
kind of,
If you throw a neg, but your reaction seeking, then it just lowers your value.
Absolutely,
Because it's just like,
absolutely.
he's just looking for the laugh.
yeah.
He's looking for
And I think that a lot of this stuff ties together, right? Because the thing with the girl in the bikini and how many girls play that same game where they exist solely to get attention. And then they get that attention and they milk it and they suck it up and they get bored and then they move on, right? And then you go do it with somebody else. And it's so important to remember that even if you do the thing like you're dancing off beat or whatever, she's still gonna keep playing the same game. So you might have like knocked her off her pedestal for a second, right? And you like got her. And she's like, what the fuck is
I don't
that?
know,
But you
dude.
gotta lead it because she's gonna go back to her programming.
Comfort zone.
And you think you've got it. That's happened so
I
many
don't know.
times.
Some of these hot girls are really self-conscious.
Yeah, but they
you plant in
don't
their
go back
head
to
that they're
that
off beat. I mean,
But you
they'll
have
feel
to.
that for a while.
You don't. I'm not
yeah,
saying
you're
just
right. Don't leave it alone. You're
I'm
saying don't leave it alone.
Once you've got that, you build something,
Yeah.
and then do something else that is like your feet.
Yeah, don't leave it alone.
I feel that, dude, because
I hate your
sometimes
face.
I'll go out on the dance floor, right?
All
I do my
pissed
little-
off.
I hate it.
So why exactly didn't I get invited to this?
I already
Cool
talked
Fest?
about it. I talked about it last Wednesday.
Oh yeah, you probably sent text or email.
No, I said. I told you. What do you say? What do you laugh at?
When, what was her, I didn't remember her name. Julie. And you were like, I hate your face.
You said I hate your face.
He just came out of fucking nowhere with this shit. And that goth girl, remember
You said I
she
hate your
married?
face.
She was like,
I guess so.
She was like, oh my god, did he just call you Butterface? And I was like, well, that's better than being called Margarine Face. And they're like, But the one thing is they did not forget that whole, like, that was just the whole, and then when you pulled our drinks out of the
You guys
thing,
have to hear part of the story goes back to the fact that we drank a decent amount before we went in. But then we went in, they were doing like a tequila promotion, and they had like this separate bar just for the tequila promotion. And the first thing I did was I stuffed my clothes underneath, like all my extra clothes. And then I saw when I was putting my clothes in there was a whole box full of these bottles, right? So like I started just talking to the girls and got them off guard, right? Then I walked away. I went back up, like just I'm like, oh, I gotta get my stuff. Grabbed one of these bottles, stuck it in my shit, like bounced, like fucking went around the corner, stuck it in a bush, and then like we waited like 30 minutes, so we got cups and just kept going to the bottle and just pouring it in there.
Where is this?
We were at Wet Republic at MGM.
Was that expensive to get into?
It was free.
It's free. So this is the party that it was the Hot 100 spot in Vegas party. Yeah, I mentioned it last week. And,
Well, it's probably a Friday, right?
yeah, I don't think it was really good. It was at
I was working hour
around noon or 2 o'clock till 2 p.m. So,
Smoke break?
Yeah, let's take a 10.
I don't remember that at all. So.
You know, I'm digging this. I think we should do an open forum like this, like once a month.
like
Because now it's like, I just kind of,
Absolutely.
we'll sit there and talk all this time and be like, you need to DH for your wing, but half the time after people in this group don't know each other. It's like, we go out together, like last time, I went out with a bunch of the guys and I was like, you know what, I don't even fucking know what you do. I have no idea how to AI him and shit. And now it's like, at least I could be like, oh dude, this motherfucker, who's your friend? Oh, he's a motherfucking chef, dude. Have you seen this guy in the kitchen?
So whoever wins,
Hey, what is
Whoever
AI again?
accomplish the intro, like
Oh,
if I'm talking to the girl
We need
before you
to talk
come
with
in
it.
and
Oh
I'm
my
just
gosh.
like, yeah, I'm here with my buddy CJ. Dude is a badass fucking magician. He ask him to do a trick. Well, he probably won't do it for you. 'Cause I don't know what you
Ah.
but something like that. Just to, and when
Right
you walk
on,
in,
right
she's
on.
like, I heard you're a magician. You're like, oh my god, I guess you're a psychic.
Yeah, we have to like we have to like
You can call me a
clearly
magician, I'll do
define
it.
what the role of a wing is. Like a lot of people don't get it and they don't understand that your job as a wing is to sell this fucking guy to this girl. You're not allowed to brag about yourself.
I'd like to say
But
something
you
about
can
that.
brag
I'm
about
thinking
somebody
about it.
else as much as you fucking want, and it's not bragging. And then that's all that programming is that there's so much good that like a good wing is like the most. You don't even need
Powerful,
any
right?
game.
Yeah,
you
it's
can
true.
have a good wing, and you can fucking a horrible game, and you take that girl home. That's like on.
Yeah, because it's
okay.
preloaded DHP. It's not being Brad Pitt.
Let me
You
present
walk in, that's it.
an idea to you guys. I want to know what you think of this. I found myself a little uncomfortable with the way that some wings. Well, let me just ask you this. Tell me what do you think is better on how to deliver higher value when you're the wingman? Okay. It seems to me it's better. Like you're the guy, I'm the wingman. You got the chick here. It seems to me it'd be better if I came up to you and said, "Bro, that fucking lecture you gave last week, I've been thinking about it all week, and I
Well,
really appreciate it."
you can do
Or
both.
well,
Are you trying
let me give you the
are you saying
difference.
the girls over here?
Yeah,
So you're
girls here.
throwing this?
You
Girls
can do
here.
both. You can do both.
But no, let me just share what my thought is here and see. I want to get your opinion about this. I feel like if I go to him and I say something to him that
It's
she
real.
hears,
It's real.
I feel like that is more high value to her than if I go up to her and say, "This guy is so."
I agree 100%.
What do you think? What do you think's a better technique?
The risk with that is that she may just not even hear it or pay attention.
You're in two different situations too, and if he's in front of you, I like the way you're standing where you're facing him,
Right,
because you're giving him the value over her. You're just like obliquely uploading your view.
I just feel like
She might
sometimes
lose, like
when
you
someone,
said, she might lose
I feel like sometimes when someone walks up to the girl and talks about me,
It has to be subtle. It can't be like.
I like it better if someone came up to me and she hears
You
it.
got to think about different situations. In my opinion, when you have one guy talking to two girls, okay, two things you do in that situation. The wing comes in and he's gonna neutralize the obstacle, of
Right,
course.
right.
But before you even do that, you're gonna go with. I'm gonna go with your target. And you're gonna go with the obstacle, and you're gonna sell yourself to the obstacle. You're gonna be sweet. You're gonna make her like you, because if she likes you,
But I'm talking about delivering higher value to the girl he's talking
just
to.
hear me out. For a
Okay.
And then your wingman, while is just gonna talk to, and they're just gonna have a conversation. They're just gonna be buddies. He's not hitting on her, so it doesn't make her feel uncomfortable. And he can talk about like how you guys have known each other for so long, and you have like you went to high school together, and you were best friends, and you got in this fight once, and you saved my
So you're
ass.
saying he's with a girl and I'm with a girl, the obstacle, and now I'm
Yeah.
talking to her.
Yeah.
That's not the scenario I'm talking about though.
But that's one situation where what I meant, like by just bragging, selling your your.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about is
Just one-on-one.
if I'm just walking by here, I'm doing a drop the bomb and leave
Okay.
because I want to DH whatever the fuck DHV. Yeah, I want to DHV him to the girl, and then I want to continue so he can keep doing what he's doing.
I usually.
And I'm just saying, I
usually
feel
go for that
like
method.
I feel like I should compliment him while she's listening, rather than tell her about him, because I feel like
When I do that, like that.
Honestly, I think they're
Remember what I've been
equally.
doing to you? Like when you were talking to the girl and I'm in and out. When I walk in, I'm just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I put my arm around you, and I'm like, wait a minute, how do you know this guy? This guy can lay like a rock star. Hey, I'm
Yeah,
gonna go
that's
to the
right.
bar because Sarah's over there, so I'll catch you in a second, and then I'm out.
Yeah.
And then she's just like, yeah, okay, cool, man.
Yeah.
well, I like the
But
way
talk
I
to
like
her,
the way you do
But
that.
I'm on you,
Yeah.
like this is my boy.
Honestly, I think they're equally as powerful as
Yeah.
long as you do them right.
Well, I kind of like what you just said because you're in both places. You're with the dude, but you're talking to the chick, and that's kind of even a different scenario. I kind of like that too. But going like straight up to the chick, it just feels like the worst way of doing it.
What's the way they did on here?
Yeah.
This was hella smooth right here.
Just a thought.
Like he waits back, and then like this guy's just like blah 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 blah, and then he comes in.
You should just look at this mystery of Matador. Have you seen that one?
Simeon opening over the shoulder.
What movie is this from? Nobody puts baby in a corner. Yes!
Slow down, Simeon. Not so high energy.
Hey, what's up, Simeon? Hey, let me introduce you to some girls. Don't worry, they're not weird or anything. This is my best buddy. I don't know.
Good
Wait. Which one's the cool one?
I can't recognize these guys. They're great. They're great.
You know what? Nothing
Are
can
these
ruin this day. Me and our friends, we just
They're
completed
leaning
a
towards each other.
and we are celebrating
They're
like
not.
it's the end of Ocean's 11. And get this, so we just got this buddy back from Iraq, right?
I love how Matt just took over the set and got off of one routine and onto the next.
Can you have the hat?
These guys didn't really AI each
You're
other.
gonna have to finish your figure out
Before you wear this, no baby.
Alright, you guys gotta take this somewhere.
Come on, ladies.
And the move is now being initiated.
They always take time. That's how it is with
Leading the woman
professionals.
through the club.
And
Are
that's
these
great.
professionals or students? These
I
guys?
think I can trust
The
you.
guys in the box.
So we'll see if we can keep that up.
Now she has Simeon's hat, and look at them.
You ever seen this?
Here's Simeon, all right.
Those guys.
He's not wasting any time.
But they've trained
What
these
is this
guys.
one called? Is this?
About 3 years ago.
The pickup artist.
Mr. T is
I think I have it on my computer. I downloaded
Get
it.
this. So
Matt
So I
is
gotta
doing
watch
so
it.
much better than he did in the last field challenge, but he's still hesitating. He needs to start escalating.
As long as they keep dating.
But we go,
But watch how he just goes in and out right here.
it takes us, right? Yeah, you think so?
I honestly don't like what this guy does with hair.
It's a simple
I think it sounds really forced.
exchange.
You know. So this guy, one of my
Oh, I like how he gave his hat for a while. That's what gave her the hat.
Honestly, the best guy I know, like the most loyal guy. He's someone vicious, little guy.
Simeon is trying to help his friend for sure.
I think it's
I would have preferred. Can you stop there for a second?
I think it sounded desperate.
Can you stop? I just want to share something here. I would have preferred. See, he goes to the girl. You know, this guy is such a loyal guy.
Yeah.
You know what I would have liked to hear?
I know.
You know what I'd like to hear? I would have liked him to say, "Oh, baby, give me a second. Hey, bro, I gotta tell you, man.
You're the most.
The way you fucking took care of your sister last week when she
Yeah.
was in trouble
Yeah.
and helped her to fucking move and shit like that.
And that's
I thought that
also
was
more
so
specific.
fucking cool.
Yeah.
I thought that was so fucking
Using
cool.
specifics is much
Okay,
more
you guys
powerful.
can talk again, man. I love you, brother.
Yeah, but just the fact that he's saying it to me sounds a lot more genuine.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point.
I know.
What do you think?
I do that all the time.
I think that you also have to, like, because it's the first thing you said, you have to make sure the girl says again. So many girls, if you go up and talk to the other guy,
They'll just walk away. Like, you
yeah,
gotta
walk
make
away,
sure,
they lose
right?
interest, they're not going to listen
I
necessarily.
mean, doesn't he seem like a salesman there? The way he's like, oh, you know, my boy.
Well, I don't think he specifically did a good job right there.
Yeah.
I think that was bad.
But sometimes
Like, for
you can't.
example, the other two guys in the same episode, one of them just goes, he just goes up to the girl and he's like, oh, yeah, no, he's just my friend, something. He's like, I gotta be honest with you, I'm a little bit jealous of how much traveling this guy does.
See, I like that.
That sounded
I like
much
that.
better. That sounded much
No,
better.
I like that. I like that.
This guy, he does a better job.
Christine, nice to meet you. Ryan.
And Ryan has spoken a signal. His body language looks great.
Feel free to join us.
He's doing the side vitamin.
Oh, friend of yours?
Like,
There you go.
And you are? Kelly, nice to meet you.
he's leaning in more than he
Great,
should,
the
though.
wingman to come into the preset.
He should reach his arm out, not lean so much.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen Michelle? I think she's over there somewhere.
So he basically just coded and said the
watch
set's
what
not
he
ready
says
yet for
right
him to
That's not
enter.
ready. Exactly.
Don't tell him I told you. I'm kind of jealous of how much traveling he's done.
He's like, don't tell him I told you.
Now they're all like, oh my god, I went over here.
See, I like that.
I told you this.
That way of
It's
saying
great. It's very. It sounds very
the
like.
way of saying it is cool. I like that.
She's like, I've been to Europe. And he's like, she shows bragging like this. And he's like, hey,
What is it?
I traveled all through Central America for a year, and I backpacked a year.
They should qualify herself already.
Sometimes the way you do it. You're right.
now he's got value. Now the other girl's like,
Christina.
What's your name?
Greg.
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 Greg, nice to meet you, Greg.
And formal introductions are being made. I'd like to see this progress.
You guys want to come?
Hey, but pause it for a
Yes,
second.
Thank you.
Oh, there goes.
But you're kind of right though, because like what you said, like I saw a pickup. There's like a 30-minute, it's like a free video that Mystery put out of him and Matador, the two guys in the corner, the pros. And
Oh, is
they're
that
doing-
Matador in the left?
Yeah, they're doing a pickup in like San Diego, and Mystery gets this like, hot ass chick, and the whole time he's saying, yeah, my friends, there's a very group of special people. These people mean the world to me. So that's his way of.
I like that.
Right.
That way of saying it is cool. Too.
Yeah. So then he's like, all right, I'm gonna introduce you to them. And then they start talking, and Matador never. Now that I think about it, Matador never does the one where he like tells the girl stuff about Mystery, but he turns to Mystery. But mind you, this is like 15 minutes into the set. Like the girl's not gonna just walk away. The girl's paying attention.
Right.
And Matador looks at Mystery and he's like, dude, I totally forgot to tell you. You know that guy from Las Vegas? Yeah, they want you to go back and do a thing for like, you know, a few hundred people, and this thing is like, yeah, man, I'm really psyched about it. So it's like, it's exactly what you said, basically.
Yeah.
Like he
It's
just,
how you frame
he
it.
made up a whole story, like talking to Mystery, but
Yeah.
the girl was right here. She
Okay,
was not going
I think I'm
Saying
figuring
something
out.
like that,
I think I'm
Joe.
figuring out what I'm talking about. What my difference is.
It's not being like the first guy. That's just like,
Well, like
this guy is awesome. It's like,
Well,
come
it's
on.
like, here's the thing. If it's just you and just a girl, I just kind of feel like addressing the girl directly may not be as powerful as addressing him and letting her hear it. Whereas in this thing, there's more of a, I don't know, wasn't there more of a group thing happening here?
Yeah.
you could do something like that if you guys were a 3-set, and instead of talking to her, you could just say, hey, off the subject, dude, I forgot to tell you, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, just like
Let
that.
her hear it, and anyway.
I just feel like that might be more powerful.
I think
You know what?
started.
I think may even work really well is if you edge in and you put your back to her.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know. You know,
Like you're telling a secret, kind of.
a guy told me a long time ago, like, if you want girls to be into you,
It's a physical net.
you're always busy. And when people are coming up to you and talking to you and they need your time and they, you know, hey, we got this, we got.
And she realized
you're
yes.
busy. You're fucking active. You got things going on. You know.
And And she feels like she has to fight for your
That's the
time.
whole fucking part. Yeah.
I wanna change, stay similar topic, but change topic. I want to make it like a round table thing, and everybody give what they do. Okay? So I'm in the set, and I'll give my example first, and then everybody give theirs. And here's how I identify my target for my wing, and what I do when my wing comes in. So I use a high five to indicate my target. Okay? So my wing is like, 15 feet away. I high five my target at some point in the 5 minutes that I'm talking to the set before he comes in. If he hasn't seen that, the other way I identify it is when he comes in, say, you guys are 3 set, I go, she's really nice, and this is the mean one. The mean one is always my target.
Is your target.
Okay? And, or you say something that, like angel and devil. And, and that
Devil
way,
would be the target.
and that way it's very clear because like last night another buddy was out with us and he's like very new to this and he didn't really get a lot of these things. You have to delineate. You have to
No, I
make
like
it
where you're
very
going.
clear.
That's
So I want to
awesome.
hear different people's what you guys do.
I don't know if I have enough experience.
Actually, I just want to do what you just did. I love that. Devil, angel. Devil's my
It's
target.
Very, and it works.
I love that.
It's great because you're throwing a little tag and
I love
yeah.
it.
Every time I've entered a set, like Maz is usually my wing, and whatever is the hotter girl or blonde, like they'll know right away, like. And then
So he just knows who's hot.
Yeah, I usually
He
tell
knows
the
what you
wing
like.
who my target is before I go in.
Actually, him and I have a completely different taste. If this girl starts giving me like a lot of challenging, a lot of sarcastic shit, I'll probably pass off to him because I don't want that. I want to do that. No.
So, or as a wing, how about this? As a wing, if I come up to you, I'll say, "So tell me something about these girls," and that's your indication that I really don't know. I haven't been paying attention. So now you could say, "Oh, basically, we got angel, demon," and I know instantly which one you want.
Demon. Another thing they did in this, that future, so I had done a boot camp in New York, and then I was like hanging out with this guy who's an instructor from Mission for like 6 months. So he would do that where's Michelle thing. And it's DHV because it's another girl that you're with. You can respond to it almost any way. Our friend is missing, so I need to talk to, this is indirect, right? Our friend is missing, so I need to talk to my friend for a second, hold on. And I tell him whatever he needs to know, and then or I could just be like, she's over there. And then that's like that's
That means
exactly
go.
what I did.
That means go.
Because there's times, right, when you're in a set and your wing comes and you're like, fuck man, I don't need you in
Right
the set
now, you
right
don't need it.
It could be a 3 set, it could be a 1, it doesn't matter.
Right.
A wing can really screw things up if not.
He'll always come back in, and sometimes I'm open to 2 set, but with the intent to take both of them.
Sure.
And
Sometimes you don't want anybody in.
I'm like, yeah, she's over at the. They'll ask where's Sarah. It's Sarah.
Okay.
Where's Sarah? And I was like, dude, she's over at the bar still, but she got your money. And then he's like, all right, cool. And then he'll just leave, and he might ask it again. He'll be like, hey, what up, dude? Blah blah blah. I'll be like, yeah, we're just talking. Give me like 2 seconds, and then he knows. Like if he exits the second time, he knows I'm fucking working both.
Because it also looks bad if your friend comes and you blow him off. It lowers your value.
Yeah.
So you can't just be like, I'll talk to you. If that is, like, we don't think about it because we're into the girls.
No, that makes sense.
And it's a really bad thing.
I'll only do that when it's gonna blow up. When I know like I'm having a 3-way makeout with these chicks within the next couple minutes, or if he sees that anyway, he's gonna be like, all right, cool. And it happens a lot of.
So yeah, the way we stop that is by having a little system. I'm digging the system that you're talking about. Like, I like the angel demon for if you got a couple chicks, where you say, these two are the angels. This one's the devil, whatever. I like that.
You know what's
As a way of
been fucked up is a couple times I've gone in so fast, opened the target, already built traction, did a little high five with the twirl, number close, Facebook closer, and I'm out. And he didn't even see it. And he goes to the same girl and did the exact same fucking routine.
Oh, and
and she looks over at me like when he's twirling around,
So what the
and
fuck?
she's like,
Why is he doing the same move on me?
Coordination is so huge. Coordination.
That is terrible.
it's happened 2 or 3 times.
I think something we ought to do is go out like on a Tuesday night.
That's why I hate
and then meet up on a Wednesday and like review. Like I think it would have been really like that's why I asked you what you thought of last night. I know like we were split up for a lot of the time, but I felt like me personally, I felt like I had a really successful night last night. While you were talking to the people who were the organizers for there were not a lot of people at this thing, right? Nobody showed up for the mini did. I mean, a few people, but I mean, there was nobody I was interested. But then while we were in there, a 2-set and a 3-set of Asian girls that were actually, the first one were actually Japanese, I mean from Japan, and then the second ones might have been prostitutes, you know, just walking the mall looking for people with money. But I had did you see that? Like, well, I like had this girl like with her back to the fucking, I was giving her like massage, like it was like bent over. I did like a little, I did some capoeira for them, and then I was like, because they didn't believe that I did martial arts, because she's like, oh, I love art. And I'm like, oh, I
So
love
what
art.
did you do? So where did you do the capoeira?
Just right in the fucking in the cup, like, and I couldn't really do much because I had shoes on, but so then I was like, come do, I'm gonna show you something, then you gotta do it, and she wouldn't come, right? And I had a plan in my mind where I was gonna, so I called her friend, and I said, if she does it, will you do it? And she's like, okay, or she said that, she's like, my friend has to go first. So I brought the friend out, and I just did a little twirl, and I let her go back, right? And then the target, I was like, okay, now it's your turn. You said you were here. So I did the little twirl, I let it be, and then I did this entrada. It's like an entrance for a throw, and I went in and just like tipped her over. She was not. Dude, that was
Kind of like dipping her or something.
It's a hip throw. So like somebody's standing here,
Right,
you come in and throw them over your leg. Like, you know when you were a little kid and somebody would go behind and it's essentially doing the same thing.
Your version of
So did you have her lay on your leg or something? Or?
Oh, she just went over, but I caught her. And it was like my most, I'm using that all the fucking time now.
You're like Lex Luthor and Superman all in one, bro.
Yeah, that's the.
You bring her down and then you catch her.
Adrenaline, the dog job thing. That's another version.
Oh, it's a great dog job.
Adrenaline.
We should call all adrenaline ones dog
job.
That should be our new
So
term.
we know? Alright.
That is a great dog job. I like that.
Yeah.
Because you're sucking the fuck out of her.
It's-
And catching her, she's falling in love.
I
with you.
usually don't.
It just became Superman.
Yeah, because girls don't like to be. They don't like to be taken
It's
on
like,
there.
I've got you. I've got you, baby. You got me.
Should be running
Who's got
still.
you?
Oh, that's tight, dude. It's fucking
That's awesome.
hard disk recorder.
I'm enjoying
So
this.
it's just it's like 4 hours of footage.
So
and
the
then all
other
you
thing,
do is
so you don't
copy and
say we
paste.
didn't tell you that. Hot English Pub, Tuesday nights, 5-cent beers.
Tuesday nights, I'm off work at about 1:30 in the morning. So I don't know how late you guys
It goes
are.
9 to 11.
Yeah. So
It was fun.
I can't do Tuesday. I can do Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday.
I've been finding out about more
And Monday.
crazy.
So you did a boot camp with Mystery?
With Future. He was
Part of his company.
Mystery Method. Mystery was not in the company. And so he left,
Oh wait,
I was telling these guys this last week.
Is this mine?
There were a lot of politics, as you can imagine there would be, and people who do this at a very high level, right? There's a lot of ego involved. And he basically just wanted followers. He wanted people who went around and stroked his ego, and because that's also fucking huge when you got a gang, your own posse, and everybody's looking up to you. And these people got to a point where they were good.
Right.
And Thompson is really good, Future. And so I guess Mystery left the company, but it's like Sid and Savoy are the two main guys.
So it's still called like the Mystery Method?
Well, that's Mystery Method as a company. That's Mystery. Most people think, if you looked up, because I got the game like 4 years ago, just like picked it up off the books, like, what's this? And
I never read the game. It's a good book though, right?
It's really good.
I read the Mystery Method. Audiobook.
Okay.
But I never read the actual game.
Read it.
It's fun.
And it's very entertaining.
Right, I hear you can read it in like a day.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I was like going through there taking like
Yeah,
a
notes.
lot of notes. But no,
But I hear it's like depressing. I hear like the guy, it starts out with him like in a mental institute.
Mystery or
Neil Strauss.
I don't remember that part.
That's so weird. So like half the people I talk to don't even remember that.
Yeah,
It's like
actually I
they
was
just
talking to
missed
my
that.
buddy who's rereading it right now, my friend in New York,
Uh-huh.
and he was like telling me about this part, and I was like, it's amazing how you can read something and just
Forget it? Yeah. Yeah, because I heard that like, I heard a whole different perspective. Like, yeah, the book is so depressing. Like the guy is like in a mental institute saying he can't ever like fall in love again, and he has all these phone numbers and his shit, and he's just like depressed. And I was like, I've never heard about that.
but so I did the boot camp. It was a 3-day, 2-night.
How much was that?
$2,200.
Damn.
Yeah, it's not cheap. My intent was to start to build a social circle.
Have you already like started? Have you already studied a lot of this stuff before the boot camp?
I was pretty skilled. I mean, I'm like, I have natural game, not as much as some people. You know, I never had, like, even before I got in the game, like, I was not unsuccessful before.
That's crazy, and you pay for a boot camp.
Well, it was because I wanted to meet an instructor, and I wanted to get in good with him, and I wanted him to be, I wanted to roll with him.
Did you accomplish that?
Yeah. He was having me assist his boot camps. He was the guy, actually, we could find him online. He's a stand-up comedian.
So if you were,
okay. So let me just tell you this. So he's a stand-up. Yeah, I mean, he's not famous or anything. He just does it.
Just like if you have that personality, I mean, that's huge.
But it's a learned thing. He was a Marine.
Actually, I've actually thought a lot about taking improv classes.
There you go.
That would help a lot.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I'm a pretty funny guy, like, between my friends, always. But if you develop that skill, like, to the max,
spontaneity,
you could kill with that skill.
And he would have routines. He would do his stand-up routine without saying he's doing it. I would watch him, and I'm like,
between that and the cooking, I don't know what I'm gonna do first.
So we would go out, and he was really good. So he had a show at the Laugh Factory. It's a comic club in New York.
Yeah.
And he goes to me. So Sin and Savoy.
They have the same club in LA, right?
Probably.
So, yeah.
So Savoy, are you from LA?
No, I lived there once.
Okay.
Where are you from?
New York, New Jersey.
So how long have you been in Vegas?
Since December.
Oh, just not. Okay.
Yeah.
Where did you move out here from?
I was working for a food and beverage consulting company.
They moved you out here?
Yep. They paid for the whole thing. I wasn't.
How old are you?
29. I've done a lot of stuff. Thank you. I've also been. So here's my 3 AIs, right? If you're gonna be my way. I'm a chef. I was Peace Corps volunteer.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I want to do that one day.
And I'm a capoeirista. Capoeira is my life.
Capoeira what?
Capoeira is a.
Did you say you're a capoeira what?
Capoeirista.
Capoeirista, okay.
So.
Really? So you did capoeira a lot?
I've been doing it for about 7 years now.
I did for 4
Seriously
years.
for like 3 or 4 years.
It's totally different. Capoeira is a dance.
It's a lot of things. It's a fight also.
Yeah? That's cool, man.
I mean, you gotta learn to play that way, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you could learn Taekwondo, and if you got to fight, not necessarily you, but
That's
somebody.
pretty well-rounded, man. You got the martial arts, the peace corps,
Thank you.
and then you cook. That's good.
And I mean, not to be like tooting my own horn too much,
No,
but
do it.
I mean, like, I'm very well educated. You know, I went to a really good undergraduate school. I have my degree in biology and philosophy. I've traveled.
Where did you go to school?
Emory?
Alabama or
Yeah.
Georgia? Yeah, Georgia. My friend. I was just hanging out.
Bio and philosophy degree. I've traveled everywhere. I speak 4 languages.
Okay.
So.
Well, I've lived in like 4 different countries.
Okay. Which countries?
I'm from Chile originally.
Okay.
Then I went to the States. I lived all over the States, and then after college I've been traveling. So like I spent 2 months in Europe. I just spent 2 months in Colombia. I'm here now. I play poker for a living. But I have an engineering degree, industrial engineering. I'm from Boston.
Okay. You lived in Boston?
I went to school about 5 years. I lived in Boston. Northeastern.
Okay.
It's a pretty good school for engineering.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. I mean, right now. Oh, and I'm a musician.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been in bands like my whole life, except for now.
I feel like we would be good.
Yeah, we'd probably be good
together because you're very mellow and I'm very high energy. And
really? Well, dude, when I have some drinks, I'm too high energy.
Okay.
That's like
my biggest, by far challenge in this whole thing is to be able to go out and do things sober.
And I don't know if you can relate to that at all. It's like, but to me, alcohol is a huge crutch.
My most dominant game is when I smoke.
Oh, see, I've never really been into that.
I don't need to get high. I just get a little buzz.
I've never tried that. I should try it sometime. Like gaming.
Because my awareness
becomes,
So when something happens, what I give back is so much more advanced.
Yeah, you
and I'm like, that's what came. That's the thing about that thing that I did. I don't know where I came up with that. Like the twirl and then the throw. Like it's I was vibing. I was just so tuned in.
Well, that's what happens with me when I have a drink. I can vibe. Yeah, it's just crazy.
And I drink. I'll drink also. I like to do both together. Like I said, I don't just drink. But
most people don't like to do both together.
I do because look. Drinking makes me tired, which is the only reason I don't like to do it. too much. But my problem is if I don't smoke, I drink too much. Not just in one night. I mean,
That makes sense.
You know, and I don't like to drink more than once or twice at most.
I never tried gaming sober until I met up with Ryan a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And what I learned from those experiences, I didn't have any crazy successful nights or anything, but I mean, it was a huge step for me, just to like open a girl, anything.
Sure.
What I learned was that if you get yourself in state, you know what I mean by state, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing as being fucked up. It's
Yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah.
Like you open 1, 2, 3 sets, and you're in this high. You're no longer sober.
Yeah.
Even though you're not drinking anything,
You can talk to anybody.
you can just
You can
start
talk about anything.
Exactly. It's just like when you're drunk.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I just need to do that more.
I guess
It's
smoking
so
is
easy to
easy.
just buy a drink, you know, but it's everywhere. Like,
And it does help
Yeah.
because it loosens you up, and other people are drinking.
but when you have too much, you go nowhere.
Yeah, there's definitely a threshold. And I'm
And it's
an accordant side.
way too easy to cross the line because your judgment is impaired, and that's it.
Yeah.
But what were you talking about before? So you go out with this guy. What happened? You told me the story about.
Oh, future. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I was living in New York, and we were going out a pretty good amount. He was seeing this girl who he was like they'd been dating for a while, right? And like I don't get it. Like I didn't. It was just like one of these bad relationships.
Yeah.
That he was so consumed by. And here's somebody who's so talented.
Yeah.
In terms of to just go out, and it was just amazing what he could do. And you know, I told these guys, a lot of people say they're like this or that, the other thing. I mean, I'm very humble about my skills, even if I'm like talking, because like when we go out, I like fucking rip it out. But I'm my biggest critic. Like I know where my weaknesses are.
Yeah.
Right now, something I'm working on a lot of is my texting and not forcing it. Being like, I'm not texting. I ain't texting any girls today. And like I've got like four or five girls right now that I'm texting with, and I ain't texting.
So you want to get away from texting?
No, I want to fucking get away from texting so much. I want to, you know what he was saying about like he needing to respond? Like, that's the best when you got fucking girls out there and they're like, why isn't he texting? You know?
Yeah.
So like I've been texting these girls for the last 2-3 days. Today I just didn't send them anything.
So a lot of times you meet girls, and then the first step for you is text, not call.
I feel like it's more successful.
Well, it's easier for them to respond.
Yeah.
And it puts more pressure on them to respond.
Yeah, and you can also be clever.
Yeah, and you can take your time with whatever you say. You can really think things through.
Yeah, technical.
Yeah.
But I mean, I improved a lot there, and then honestly, I went back to school. And once I went to school, I really was out of the community and everything. And for probably the last 2 years, I haven't been active. Like I've been going out and getting lots of all that stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't been technical as much as I was at one point where I was taking notes and I was reflecting on the nights I was talking about.
So you feel like you're a little stagnant and just like.
No, it's coming back quick. I've been fucking killing it.
Well, you were, I'm saying, before you got back into the.
Yeah, I mean. When I moved out here,
Yeah.
I was very successful. Like I was seeing like 4 or 5 women, very attractive women. And then just the last 2-3, I lost my job.
How did you meet locals? I'm just curious, like you were
I
just
just talked to
going out on the strip or outside of the strip?
Let's see. So the 2 main girls in my rotation were one was a manager at a restaurant that I was working with in my last company. The other lived in my complex. That's cool.
So you lost your job?
Yeah.
And then what?
And then I've just kind of been in like a little bit of funk for the last,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, obviously I wasn't, the first thing on my list was not girls. And then as soon as I kind of started to see that I was going to have something, I was like, I need to get some more back. And I've been going out. I mean, I don't get me wrong. A month ago, so we had a capoeira, not an event, but like we had like 4 mestres come from San Diego all over, you know, 4 mestres. And there were 4 girls that came from San Diego who were the masters, and they also none of them were very attractive. There are a lot of hot capoeiras. The hottest one was the girlfriend of the master. So
the girl for what?
The hottest girl was the girlfriend of one of the main master who came.
Oh, okay.
So you know, but all of them ended up crashing at my place. And so this was about a month ago, right? And we had all gone out, we'd all spent the day together and everything. And there was this girl who was the niece of the master. And she was like, honestly not, she was cute, but she had the Brazilian like sexual energy. She was just overweight. She wasn't so fat, but like I would, I didn't think that. And we got the back that night, and I was like, man, I'm so fucking hungry. Like I need to. So everybody had gone to sleep, and they were all sleeping in my living room. Like an hour after they went to sleep, I went out there. I like grabbed her, but we had like been speaking Portuguese. We'd been like having a good night.
You just woke her up.
Just woke her up. I went like this. And like again, we had and I like brought her in my bed. She gave me head, and she like went back in the room.
That's it. So
Yeah.
she just knew what was up. She didn't.
I didn't fucking care, and I was totally sober.
That's awesome.
The next weekend, this is going back 3 weeks now. I went out with my buddy Marty, who I'm trying to get involved and stuff. He read the packet. He read Mr. Recommended. We were at XS, nowhere Trist. And we were both doing fine, but I had this one girl I was really working on. Wasn't sure where it was going. And I went back in to find him. And he passes this girl off to me. And she's like, "You like to party?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Well, what does that mean?" And she's like, "Well, she likes to have fun and dance and listen to music." I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Let's go tomorrow." End of the story. I end up fucking her in 24 hours.
There's no
Yeah.
She was cute.
Yeah.
There's not.
She
That's why
He was his birthday or something, and he was gonna get a girl, and she was gonna get a guy, and that's something fun. He was doing so much fucking coke, man, he couldn't even get hard. So I mean, like I've been doing okay, just I haven't really had anything consistent. I haven't really been getting anything because of eating. Like I've had certain like flares of brilliance, but
You've
not.
been getting lucky.
Well,
you're still fucking.
not. I wouldn't say I'm getting lucky. It's that
Even if you have
the
a
technique I have comes out at times, but it's not consistent. It's not technical. It's not developed.
they're always
Not controlled.
It's like it's unconscious.
It all comes back
So I've been trying to get back into doing things. These false time constraints. The little things that make
Yeah. Yeah, I have a lot of the same things to
It
develop.
takes about 20 minutes, maybe 45 minutes.
I feel like
45-minute sessions a week.
I've never been a big fan of routines,
And then grow.
so I always try to learn the principle behind things, and I try to do my own natural thing,
Unfortunately, you never reach
which is good, but I don't know. When you're first learning, I think it should be a balance. Like, you know what I mean? There's always you have to learn the process. Sometimes you just gotta use routines just to
you
get
get
you
you
through
go out
stuff.
like and you say, these three
I've
things.
learned some really valuable lessons.
And one of the things I need to do is just sit down and like write down. Like for example, I was just in Colombia for 2 months, and
There's probably still some here in Vegas.
I was living with my friend and another guy who was good friends with him and became my friend. This guy, this third guy, his brother was like the Colombian PUA guy. Like he grabbed like D'Angelo's and Mystery Men and stuff and translated it, summarized, translated it to Spanish, put out a book over there, and got like really popular. And this was like a couple of years ago.
And
Went on radio shows and here and there. And so I had a copy of the book and I read it. And one of the exercises I saw in there I thought was really good. And he basically said like,
and you just tell me what you
if you're ever talking to a girl and you find yourself
There
running
was a
out of
sign.
things to say,
He just is so
Has happened to me.
just naturally.
it's like, well, a good exercise to do is just sit at home
Is he a big artist?
and write 8 stories that you
He
can
said
do.
something to me that amazed me.
You know, and I was like,
He said,
that's a
he goes,
really
you
good
know what, bro, I
exercise.
can marry
You
you.
know, like that's the type of things I need
We
to
did
do.
that.
Did you really? Yeah.
We
And I
wrote a
said,
story, and then we would say it, and they would like
Because
cut it
in
down.
my world,
They'd be like,
and
keep this,
in
get
your
rid of
world,
this. So it's like,
So the DHV spike here, stuff like that.
There's no way.
That's
Because if we just
Yeah, so imagine if you have 8 of those, you could never really run out of things to say.
sure.
You could always find something to talk about.
type of people.
And I had that problem. I read this and I didn't do the exercise. Still haven't done it. And I went out like a couple of weeks later to Miami, and I had maybe one of the hottest girls I've ever had. Like I opened and she was like showing me IOIs. I just ran out of things to say again. I was like, and I ejected because I didn't want things to get weird. I figured I froze. I recognized that I had frozen, and I figured I better eject and try and come back than to like
that make
Tried
us
to,
have to fight
salvage
to
this.
get to that
Like,
place
I just
is
fucked up.
because we had some
And,
trauma somewhere in our lives.
So yeah, I was like, I can't believe it.
It's like,
I still need to work.
there's
on that.
another
I
set
think
of
I need to learn
society,
routines and like
not a big
start
set,
applying them.
but that's just, they're born.
Yeah, don't put too much on your plate. Again, like, just take one thing.
Like
Like,
for
I'm
myself.
gonna work on this week.
I want to
I'm
have
gonna work
Yeah.
last time picture or something.
That's a good idea. I'm a firm believer in baby steps.
You don't get anywhere else. You don't get anywhere else.
It's like going to the gym and trying to run,
is to
you know, 2 miles when you haven't ran in a year.
more
Like,
of those
you're
things.
gonna be like exhausted, right?
And then you're